I'm just letting you know. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is Pamela, and you are watching Pam Entertainment TV, where we review movies, television series, and incidents in pop culture. And this is our pop culture chat. Y'all, we are getting ready to get into talking about this young lady here. Mm. Oh, the Brick Lady. So let's talk about the Brick Lady's conviction and how Rhoda Osman's life ignited this social media gender wars. Child, and let me get you all the people who are going to be talking about this today. We've got Danny. Danny, introduce yourself and let the people know who you are.
Hi, I'm Danny, and I do a little bit of everything, but my entry into this YouTube world came in legal analysis. So that's kind of my shtick for the most part. But now I'm just here, helping out Pam, having fun, doing silly stuff on YouTube. But today is back in the legal kind of thing. Not too much analysis, but more just, social commentary, and this just happens to be a legal issue, but more social commentary than legal analysis.
And go ahead, my other co-host. Tell them who you are
Yeah.
and what you do.
How y'all doing, ladies? How y'all doing?
All
Y'all know me,
right.
man. It's Blue, man. I've been doing YouTube for a long time, been streaming for a long time. I talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. We'll talk about it. Let's get into it.
And we're definitely going to do that. We are getting ready to get into this lady right here, Rhoda Osman. Now, I'm going to give you all some background information about this topic, but before I do that, make sure you all hit that like button. We are streaming on multiple platforms, so make sure that whatever platform that you are watching this from, please make sure you'll hit that like button, you hit that heart button. And if you like the content, if you like this content, you like my content, you'll look above me. There's a QR code. Go ahead and hit that QR code and subscribe to my channel. Danny and Blue will put their information down in the chat, and go ahead and just subscribe to their channels as well. So let's talk about Rhoda Osman, and let's talk about who she is. Now, back in 2023, now, if you follow me or follow anything that I do over there on TikTok, you know over there is the cesspool of gender wars, any kind of wars, all kinds of stuff that's going on over there. Well, this young lady dropped this video, and I know she dropped it on, I believe she dropped it on Facebook, she dropped it on Instagram, and she dropped it on TikTok. I don't know if she dropped it on Twitter, but she dropped this video where her face as it is, as you see it up here, it was swollen on her side, and she tells the world that she was hit in the face by a brick. So let me get you to that page. Hold on, y'all.
Now,
you know,
Pam, wasn't there some cell phone video the night of the incident that she claimed that's when it happened?
I'm
Yep.
gonna play because I tried to go back as far as I could to find her initial video. I could just find videos of what she had, but my understanding, there was a cell phone video. There was, I don't know if there was she was doing the cell phone video. I know that there is a video of two guys that were like, well, we were standing over there and we didn't
like
see
some kind of witness account video, and it was that night, and she was in it. The guys were in it. That's when I first got wind of it. And then, like I said, I just kind of checked out once I saw the gender war stuff happening because I was like, I can't. This is just crazy.
Let me.
It was.
Go
And
ahead,
I don't want to go ahead, but yeah, it was some surveillance video that actually came out and really cleared everything up. But everybody still doubled down. It was crazy.
Yeah, I knew that there was
it wasn't everybody. You know who doubled down.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. Hold on, y'all. Share screen. Here we go. So let's see if we can hear.
I think that's part of that video. Yeah.
Yo, this man just hit me in my face with a brick, and all these black men just watch, and they don't give a brick is. Yeah, this man hit me, grabbed a rock, and it hit me in my face because I would have given him my number. And all y'all just watch. Y'all see that shit? Y'all see that shit? What y'all do? I want y'all to be a man. I want y'all to be a man and fucking do something. Y'all gonna let.
So that was the initial video that I saw. Those two men that you saw in the background, they were talking about, well, we were over at the gas station and we came along and stuff like that. Now, I wasn't able to find that particular video, but I also want to play this video because this is her in the hospital. Come on. What is going on?
You're using some new stuff, Pam?
Blue. Hold on, y'all. Let me see if I can just move. I don't know why it just won't play. It was playing just a minute ago. Well, let me do this. All right.
Yeah, there it goes.
Is now being charged with theft by deception.
What have I ever done to anybody in my life to deserve this?
Roda Osman told cops that she was hit in the face with a brick outside a Houston club after she refused to give out her phone number. But footage capturing the incident does not support Roda's report, according to charging documents. And cops say a similar GoFundMe was created in 2020, where she claimed to be assaulted with no reports on record. GoFundMe told an NBC affiliate that the fundraiser has been removed from their platform and Roda has been banned from creating future fundraisers.
All right. So we've got the gist on that. Let me this was the fundraiser that she did, and I recovered this from another page, somebody else's page. But she raised $42,322 off of this GoFundMe, asking people because she needed to pay for her medical bills and all of this other stuff. Now
let me give you guys some perspective.
One of the things that we need.
$6,000 shy of what a teacher makes in Florida. She raised just on instigating a lie.
Right.
Had I known, no, I'm just kidding.
Hello, unapologetic. Yeah, we gonna talk about this. We are going to talk about this. So this is not the first time that she's done it. Now, she's moved to Houston, and this is where all of this took place. But previously, she lived in Minnesota, and she ran this scam in Minnesota. And it's my understanding that she was able to get $4,000 or $5,000. I could not find that GoFundMe, but they said that that she raised almost up to $5,000. So when she moved to Houston, This was one of her scams that she had in her back pocket. Now, it is my understanding that she has been known to do stuff like this. She is known on social media to do all of these videos. One of the videos that I saw, she's twerking, she's running up to men, and she's nudging their heads and saying that they're not being a man and all this other stuff. She's known for all of these what do you call those videos?
Prank.
Like prank type.
Like prank, like what do you call it?
Because that's what I was seeing when this
video.
first happened. People were saying, no, she pranks a lot. She pranks a lot. But then I thought that the commentary just was not letting up on believing what she was doing. So then I'm like, I'm good. Let me bow to this and just wait for the other shoe to drop.
Right. So here she is. She went to court last week, and she was found guilty. She was found guilty of theft by deception. She was sentenced to 90 days in jail. She had 10 years of probation. She's ordered to pay back every cent, which was confusing to me because I thought that the GoFundMe restricted her from getting those funds, and that was a gray area for me. I couldn't find the information.
Okay, so unfortunately, Pam, and I think this has changed because I know when GoFundMe first started out, there was a waiting period to get the money. And I definitely know that to be true during the pandemic when a lot of those people that were getting fired for saying racist things started to GoFundMes, and a lot of them got taken down once GoFundMe realized why they got fired and why they were raising the funds. And so I don't know if it was always the case, but I know during the pandemic, there was a waiting period before you could access the funds. I know now because my daughter has a GoFundMe for her movie stuff. Now, within 24 hours, they're depositing the money into whatever bank account that you have linked to the GoFundMe. So you're getting that money relatively fast, between 24 and 48 hours from, they don't even wait for the donations to stockpile. Like, let's say there's $50 in there. They'll deposit it the next day into whatever bank account you have linked to it. They don't wait until it gets to a certain amount before they transfer the funds over. So that being said, she probably got a hold of what she did. That's why they're making her pay restitution.
Pay it back, yeah.
I'm sure GoFundMe refunded the donors, but now she probably has to refund GoFundMe. Right.
Thank you for clarifying that. The judge also she has a 10-year ban from all social media. So she cannot for 10 years open her old account. She can't start new accounts. She can't do any of those things. And we will talk about how that is so difficult to with what we have going on today, how difficult that will be unless they are checking her IP addresses and stuff like that.
And like I've mentioned, unless there's nobody else living in her house, you cannot effectively
police that.
Yeah, you can't police it because the IP address belongs to everybody in the house with devices. And from what I understand, she has a child. So unless she lost custody,
there's ways around it, and we'll talk because I know how to. I know ways that the internet will police. Internet police themselves. So
right.
Somebody will tell on it. If she shows up,
she'll just be a fake person. It'll literally just be a fake person. Until social media starts requiring real ID, like that thing where you got to put your driver's license in it and then scan your face and all that. There's really no way to police whether she's going to create another account. That's just stupid. But hey.
All right. So we've gotten there. I don't know. I got this blank page.
I wore my hair like this as a tribute to her. And her big head. I should talk, but I think hers might be bigger than mine.
There you go. There you go. All right. So let's listen to the guy who was he did a interview with a guy named Yes, I Am Stacy. I think that's his name. And he went into more specific details because he was partying with this woman. And he says that He was partying with her and they were at a club. He says that she walked up to him and said that, he was trying to talk to her. She was like, if you're going to talk to me, all these bitches in your section got to leave. And he was like, oh, hold up. These are my friends. Ain't nobody getting ready to leave. And I'm just paraphrasing from what I had on this internet. On this interview. And he says when he saw her, and I guess they all testified to it, she had on like a what do you call those things? They call them what is it? The little baklava type mask.
Yeah.
What you call it? Pew shiesty or whatever y'all call them. I don't know what y'all call them, young people.
The pew shiesty.
Yeah, pew shiesty. She had on one of those type masks, and he says that it was like tight to her head, and it was like covering her little bun and all of this other stuff right here. And he says that they were partying. She never took her mask off. Which in my opinion, I was like, why was you talking to somebody that walked in the club looking like that? But that's not my business.
Right? The pandemic was over, wasn't it?
And so, but because she has that body, she's got that big old booty, she's got that small waist, she got the thing. She comes over to the section and they said that she was acting odd, but she never took the mask off her face. They ended up talking about going to someplace, he says, and she gets into the car, and then he says again, she starts doing that little mushing of his head or something like that. And he was like, hold on, you know what? You got to stay here. I'm not getting ready to be bothered with that. They go over to wherever it is that they're getting ready to go. They said that from the spot that he left her at to the spot that she got to was like she walked maybe like a mile and a half. She walked until she was surrounded by a whole bunch of folk. And then once she was surrounded by the whole bunch of folks, that's when she started screaming in that video that we saw. Oh, somebody got hit in the face with a black man. So we don't know if she went to the club already with this big old knot in her head.
Knot on her head, yeah.
Because when I looked at it at first, I was like, okay, that looks like the Cardi B knot that she got when she was
hit with the shoe.
Hit with the shoe. But then when you look at the Cardi B knot, you can see
that
little
was
scratches.
A boot tag.
Yeah, you can see little scratches around it where you could tell she was doing like this. But then when you look at hers, it honestly looked like she had pumped. It looked like she had pumped saline in her face. That was the first initial thing that I thought. I was like, did she pump something in her face, or did she intentionally hit herself in the face?
It was some reports out that said that she had a procedure earlier that week or something like that with that, and that's why she had the mask on. That's when all this started. I remember reading all of that because that didn't make sense. Even if you get hit in the head with a brick, the swelling ain't the issue. You're gonna have some type of raspberry or skin off.
Yeah.
I'd have been hit with a rock.
And her
brick,
eye would have been
like,
shut too. You would think.
Yeah, like that's not nothing that you just swell up. There was no bruising. There was no redness. There was nothing. Like it was just swollen. You know what I'm saying?
Let's look at it again. Look at her face. You can look over here at this video right here. Look at her face. It was like really, and it was swole right up into here. But I was concerned. I was like, if he hit you like that doesn't look like somebody just injected something up in there, because I don't see any darkness in her skin. You understand what I'm saying?
Ain't no bruising or nothing. Yeah.
Because, some people bruises don't show up to a certain period of time, but just the way it is.
Not if you get smacked, not if you swelling like that, Pam.
I want to know whoever's hurling bricks like that, because that's some expert precision.
What I'm saying is, where that spot is, her eyes should at least have with bloodshot. You know how your eyes.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah, it's like blood. I was looking for something like that, and I'm not seeing that. So I'm gonna play this video again. I wonder, can I make it larger? I probably have to go to the side.
Yo, this man just hit me in my face with a brick, and all these black men just what? And they don't give a brick is. Yeah, this man hit me. He grabbed a rock and it hit me in my.
So the reason why I was trying to get, I may have to go up here and find her picture. But the reason what I was saying is, like, all of this should be bloodshot. I would expect you hit me in the brick, and I would be crying, and I know my eye would be, but I would be scared like the temples in her face. You see what I'm saying? Let me see if I can find it.
I mean, I would think if you got hit that hard, you would have got knocked out.
Yeah, she would be at the least she'll be stumbling, disorientated. She wouldn't be online.
Yeah.
Because that swelling spot, like I said, that's the temple. If I hit you in the head with a brick right here, you getting laid. First off, you getting laid down. You're not getting up. It ain't no moving around. You getting laid down. So when you do get up and you get to senses, you not gonna be all rowdy. You're gonna be like, what the hell just happened?
Does that say she's a doctoral student? What?
Yeah.
Is this part of her dissertation?
I don't know, but look right here. If you all can see this, I'm not gonna make it any bigger.
There's like it's like there's a bump here, and then there's like a dip, and then another bump there.
But look where it's at.
And it's right at the corner of her eye, so her eye should have been shut for sure.
But it's at her
or
temple.
A busted blood vessel, something.
It's at her temple. If anybody ever, if you've known anybody, or if you've ever been hit in your temple, you would have been, like Blue said, at the least you'd be a disorient, but at the most you would be knocked the hell out.
Knocked out, yeah.
Because you hit that temple, because that could kill you if you hit you right in the spot. So in this little area right here, like I said, we don't know where she got it. And the guy who said that, who she claims, now he did admit that he threw a bottle at her, or he said something about her because she kept hitting him and stuff like that. But even so, this right here just seems, it's too clean. Her skin it's just too clean. There's no scratch. There's no anything like that. That's the cleanest goose egg that I have seen in my life.
From a brick.
From a brick. If you've ever been hit with a,
well, I ain't never been hit with a brick, but I mean that has to be like.
I have run into a door.
Yeah.
I have literally run, well, not, my cabinet in my kitchen. I left it open and I ran right into it.
Like a hard surface or something?
Yeah. I've hit it, and I've had a little right here, but I've also had like a little scratch, a little something.
Broke the skin. Yeah, broke the skin. That's what I'm saying. That she didn't have no breaking of the skin. A brick would have broke the skin.
She didn't break the skin. So let's hear what he had to say about this situation. Or what he said, period. Let's see if we can get it.
Her name is Roda Osman. Online, she's known as Brick Lady, and her video went viral back in 2023. Tonight, though, she is here in the Harris County Jail after a jury found her guilty of stealing more than $40,000 in a GoFundMe scheme.
This man just hit me in my face with a brick.
The selfie video by Roda Osman got millions of likes, but prosecutors say her claims of a man throwing a brick at her head didn't match the evidence.
She kind of made the couple months that happened my life a living hell.
Olin Douglas is the man she told police threw the brick at her outside a Houston bar in 2023. He never got charged, but she did, after raising more than $42,000 online. Now, more than 2 years later, a jury found Osman guilty of theft, deceptively raising all that money.
I'm glad that she didn't get away with just being able to lie. It seems like she gets on social media and just manipulates and scams people.
Douglas is happy with the jury's verdict. The judge's sentencing plan, even more so. Osman will have to spend 90 days in jail, according to prosecutors, and pay full restitution. She'll be on probation for 10 years. Any violations could mean she goes to prison. But on top of that, she can't use social media in that 10-year period.
I'd say it's pretty rare.
Defense attorney Joe Venus isn't connected to the case, but says he's never seen a social media ban as a condition of probation.
If somebody's sophisticated enough with social media to commit a crime using social media, I imagine that it's a pretty big part of her life. So it's going to be difficult for her. But as I remind my clients all the time, probation's supposed to be hard.
Consequences Douglas says he hopes Osman faces after he received death threats, and the case got the internet's attention.
When this happened, it seemed like the world was loud. She had loud supporters. She had loud fans. And I'm just interested, where are y'all now?
And we should note the judgment and probation conditions have not yet been signed in this case, but additional hearings have been scheduled when that could happen. Tonight, Osman's defense attorney has not responded to multiple requests for comment, but records show they plan to appeal this conviction.
All right. Okay. I also want to point out there, I also want to point out there, because he did make a very good statement. He was saying that people were loud, and I mean they were loud, and they were loud, and they were proud. That's fine.
Mhm.
But I also want to point out too, there was a lot of people who were clout chasing at the same time. There was some young man from Memphis talking about he was the one that hit her in the brick, and he did it
Oh
because
yeah,
he
I
wanted
remember
to.
that.
You
Yeah.
remember that dude? And then his wife
Mhm.
had to get on there and tell him, "Don't be listening to this fool, because he ain't did nothing. He didn't leave the city. He didn't leave the state of Tennessee, and he didn't do any of that." And she was, I mean, she was going off. You don't get yourself involved in no mess like that.
Nah, not like that. No.
Not like that. Not trying to get count, because he got a lot of followers. And that social media ban is going to hurt her. Now, what I was going to say about that social media ban is I foresee her going back to jail.
Me too.
I foresee her going back to jail. And let me put myself center.
But social media or just some other random probation violation?
I think
No, I
social
think she's
media.
going. I think she's social media. This is why I think she's going to go to jail for social media. She's going to go to jail for social media is because what she's going to do with all the accoutrements that are out here now, with the AI and all of this other stuff, she's going to set up a whole false account. She's going to set up an account where she's not going to have to use her face, and she's going to have AI digitally rearrange her voice. It's going to catch up with her, because she's going to say something or do something that's going to give the clicks that she's there. But she won't be, even if she just leaves her home like she's going to work, and she does it. I don't know exactly what, like I said, she's got when she gets out of jail in probably another month and a half. You're gonna go ahead.
Well, I think the reason why it's gonna because she's got to be her. You're talking about AI. She want to be in front of the camera. This is the whole reason why she did what she did.
Attention whore. She has to be seen and heard.
And she gonna see, because she want to push that line too. She want to see if she can actually beat probation, because that's what she give off. She give off like, I can do what the hell I want to do. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing scams up and down the Mississippi. Seem like.
And something's clearly wrong with her mentally. I sent you a link, Pam. I don't know if you want to play it, because apparently there were some other charges that got dropped against her, and she went on to Blue's point, went on social media half naked with a champagne bottle, prancing around for that short-lived victory. So yeah, she's definitely insufferable in that regard, and she won't. That's not satisfactory enough to people like her to have to hide in order to still be able to see and interact on social media. It might work for a few months until people start talking enough where she feels like she has to, damn, I gotta reveal my identity, or else I'm not going to be able to do this response justice. Am I making sense?
Yes, you are.
And I think even using a different IP or something like that, I think soon as it's revealed, the internet, somebody is gonna tell on her. That's the thing about it. She'll get away with it, and she's gonna think, oh, okay, they ain't even looking, and somebody is gonna tell on her.
Of course.
And that's
and
what
we already know who it's probably going to be, and it's going to probably be the woman that helped her get convicted in the first place. Daphne. Yeah. Daphne on her ass.
Daphne didn't play no games with it.
She
better leave her alone. She better stop. Yeah, Daphne don't play. I've been following her for a while.
Yeah, Daphne went to the court and testified against her tail. All right, so let me show you what Danny sent me, and I will tell you right now. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
because I'm frozen, but I'm still here. I'm
here.
Still here. My daughter used to play the hell out of that song. I don't know why she liked that song so much.
But this is her celebrating.
Damn, Rhoda.
It's also known as to celebrate 2 charges being dismissed from her theft case. Don't know where she's at.
Damn, Rhoda.
Yep. I hope she enjoyed being out there.
A nice body though. Too bad the brain and the head don't match. In New York, we call them a butterheads. Everything look good but a head.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
she
so
me of
I wanted to
a little bit.
Does she?
A little bit. Yeah.
And she sounds like she talks like her too, with that affected kind of California Valley
So
girl
let
kind of
me
talking.
get through. Let me get through a couple of these. I found these. I was trying to so hard to go back to 2023 to get to the people who were like on her side and then who weren't on her side back in the gender war. But that was, every
That's a
time
hard.
that's a hard little.
Yeah, that's a hard reach.
Jay,
So
she paid for it with that 43,000. He said he don't think she paid for the trip.
Asking if I'm going to apologize to Godfrey over my videos in defense of Roe.
now, if you're not remember, this is Francesca. She's the girl that wrote I never thought the leopards would eat my face, and she is a social media content. She writes for a lot of television shows and things like that. She was initially one of the supporters for Rhoda Osman, and the comedian Godfrey had said some stuff, and then she went off on Godfrey. So let's hear what she has to say post conviction.
The woman who claims that she was hit in the face with a brick. And I've got bad news for you. I'm about to double down hard. So Rhoda, the woman who last year came out and said that she was assaulted with a brick and a bunch of dudes stood around and didn't do anything to help her, has been since charged with falsifying an assault and also raising funds via GoFundMe under false pretenses. And I made a video calling out the comedian Godfrey because in addition to a number of people piling onto this woman and saying that they wouldn't help her and that they don't feel any obligation to help any woman that's not their partner or a family member if and when that they are the victim of a violent crime, Godfrey went on his platform and talked about wanting to kick this woman in the back. He also went on to say that any woman that criticized him was ugly, didn't have a job, and didn't have a man. Now, if Roe lied about being hit in the face with a brick, that doesn't justify saying that you would then assault her for lying. It is absolutely possible to critique and criticize women without being a misogynist. And it is wild to me that people do not understand that if you are claiming that this woman is making black men look bad by lying, that then saying that you would assault her for lying doesn't make black men look better. How does that make sense? And then when you get called out for being a misogynist, using misogyny in order to defend yourself doesn't make you look like any less of a misogynist. I don't know if Roe lied. I hope that she didn't, and if she did, I hope that she gets the help that she needs in order to address the real underlying problem, because people that lie about things like that usually have some other shit going on that needs to be addressed. Lastly, I will say that it's quite interesting that when your faves are charged with crimes, it's innocent until proven guilty. But with this woman, because it confirms your bias about her and women in general, it's like, lock her up, lock her up. I don't know if she did it or not, but I'm never going to apologize for believing women. I'm just not. You can stay mad about it.
I wanted to put that on there because I know that she was very loud and proud about, we need to for women, and I'm not against that. However, I am about providing the evidence. But go ahead, Blue.
Yeah, I'm not believing no damn body.
Right. It's one thing to say, because I got a couple points I want to kind of get at. It's one thing to say about believing women until guilty. That's cool, right? But evidence was given like the week of. It wasn't like this lingered on for months. Evidence was given. You know what I'm saying? Like they came out and said, nah, it was this. That didn't happen. And if you are because we are coming off of the Joe Budden versus Angela Rye and all them situations. I don't know if y'all got into that. But if you are an intellectual here on YouTube, use your brain, people. Like, it's okay to say, hey, if 1 + 1, it should equal 2. You can make an inference. You don't have to say, oh, well, I think she did it and she should go to jail. You could say, hopefully she didn't do it, but the evidence seems like she did it.
Right. Exactly.
It's simple to say.
Instead of just saying that and leaving it at that, you want to try to
just to come up with reasons why she didn't do it, or now you want to throw, oh, y'all black men just think that we're coming at, and it's like, well, it seems that you are just coming at black men because black men didn't show up. Look, I hate it. I hate to say this. As a black man who has gotten in women's business before, it always ends up bad for the black man. I hate to say it. It does. So when you try to jump in front of the gun to protect somebody who's not your, you know what I'm saying?
Blue,
Like,
you ain't even got to justify that because I'm not even letting my own husband do no dumb
yeah, I
nonsense
just
like
don't.
that.
And she wouldn't either. That's what I'm getting at. Like,
No, we're not all going to jail. I'm sorry. I will call the police. I
right?
will
I call the
say
police.
something. I will
Hey, what
alert.
happened? Oh, damn. Let me hop. You know what I'm saying? You okay? Let me
Yeah,
call the ambulance. Let me do all this, that, and the third.
we're not
But
being innocent bystanders. Sorry.
no, I'm not finna get in. You know, now my wife is without a husband because I done got killed over
Your
you. And we don't even
children
know
are
you.
without a father, and then find out the lady
That
lied.
you right. Come find out you lied. Like, no,
No.
why is that such a hard thing to accept when it comes to men protecting women? Yes, men should protect women, but also hate to
No,
say
they
it,
shouldn't. They should
no, we
protect the
should.
women that they're
They're
responsible
with,
for.
right? That's what I'm saying. Men should protect the women that they with. And if you are a woman out here doing the things that she did, you got to understand it comes with that. You know what I'm saying? It come with, you might get, I see young dudes online doing the whole prank stuff all the time. I remember one dude, he pranked this old veteran dude. Veteran dude was ready to whoop his ass. Oh, my bad, sir. Like, yeah, you ran up against the wrong one. Y'all might want to chill out on this social media attention whoring for stop that, because you're gonna end up in a body bag or in the hospital or something. You know what I'm saying? Then you're gonna be playing victim. No, man, no. And then another point I want to make, as far as Godfrey he wasn't inciting violence when he said kick her back in. He was saying, I want to talk bad about her, not put his foot on
But
her back.
You know how toxic feminists think. Everything is misogynist. That's their favorite word.
Yeah, like
and
he wasn't.
He's a comedian, like Eon 001 said in the comments. We know he's a comedian. I've been following him for decades, since Soul Plane.
Yeah.
And he, even though he's from Chicago, he's adopted New York, and so he uses a lot of New York slang. So to me, I would not have taken it literally that he was going to kick her back in.
Yeah, because that's not what he meant.
It's not literal. It's like you said. It's like you're going to basically run them through the ringer and hold them accountable for whatever it is that the issue is. You know what I mean?
You know, also too, I want us to stop with this either or type of mentality. That's the problem in politics. There are no longer any moderates, and so it's either one extreme to the other extreme.
And heaven forbid, two things can be true at the same
time. You know, people lose their mind over that. So I'm just going to tell y'all now that I'm going to be a little frozen. I don't know exactly what that is. I don't have many things open. I may have to just take some stuff down off my computer, but that's okay. But I still wanted, there was a couple of other things, and I wanted to get this particular person's perspective. Hold on.
I would say just put your avatar up, Pam. That way it's.
Yeah.
Well, then I would be out of sync with y'all showing y'all's faces.
But now you're frozen.
Yeah, just giving you an option.
Let's see if I can get this person. Hold on, y'all.
This lady
I wish you had the Conscious Lee. I'm trying to
Hold
find the
on.
Conscious Lee video where he doubled down on everything.
Ready to learn? Damn. Why you looking at me so hard?
I'm not.
Trying to take me down, ain't you?
Like, damn, shawty, you gonna make me come up out of this fucking flannel looking at me like that.
No, I'm just looking at you because you the teacher. What you mean by one of your students trying to take you down?
Okay, I got the wrong video, y'all. Sorry. Let me put my little avatar. Well, I'm not frozen now. I guess because I took that down.
Yeah, you back.
Let's see. I got the wrong video. So let's get to this young man over here.
Not have children, they will never understand the sentiments of that man right there. They just won't. They just won't. Like me, I don't have a daughter, I have a son. But still, I mean, my son is literally, he's pretty much a newborn. I can't even fathom going out there, risking my life for a thought on top of that, for a schemer, a scammer.
That
risk
music
my life for what? And then lose the opportunity to go back to my son? To go back to my wife? Are y'all serious? No. You see, the type of woman that ought to be protected is the Proverbs 31 woman. Do you get what I'm saying? Yes, one who is actually a woman of good character, of moral value. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of woman that a man would easily put his life on the line and defend. Not no woman that goes around and has a history of actually attacking other people and putting down women. Again, she said trans women do it better than y'all, and y'all defending her. Come on, man.
No, they look
You
better
have a
than
whole bunch of
her.
people in the comments that said, I agree with you, bro. 100, 100. I love.
All right.
I mean,
I got
that's facts, and that's what me and Danny are saying. Like a man going out just running, you know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, chivalry is not dead, but you know what I'm saying?
We can get you dead if you
Yeah,
minding somebody's
right.
business and you don't know
That's
what's
not
going
who
on.
I would be chivalrous to. You know what I'm saying? Most, if you was, let's say we at a bar or we at a section or something, and I got women in my section, I'm protecting those women. I'm gonna make sure those women make it home. I'm gonna make sure those women are treated right, stuff like that. If you're not part of my group, for the most part, and I don't know you, I'll make sure that, like you said, Danny, the ambulance get called, make sure the police show up, stuff of that nature. But after that, I'm going home. Like, I'm not jumping in front of no bat, no brick, no bullet, no nothing. Especially if I don't know how this started, or I don't know you from Adam, ma'am. I don't
Right.
know you. You could be a serial killer. You could be the one who started the whole.
And she was,
You know what
because
I'm
from what
saying?
I understand, the CCTV video showed that she did start it.
Yeah, you around here smacking. They had video that whole. I don't know if it was that whole night, but they had video of her just running up the white dude just smacking them. You know what I'm saying? Like, now what if one of them white dudes would have whooped? I'm talking about whooped your behind. Then you've been saying,
shot her.
oh, or shot her. The racist white man, black. But no, you going around here slapping white dudes.
And you have
You know
a
what I'm saying?
child at home. Why are you out here? You got a child at home. Now, I'm not telling her, oh, you can't ever go out, but I'm saying this type of behavior, this type of behavior, and you know you have someone that you're responsible for, it does not mesh. It does not mesh at all. It doesn't mesh at all. But
you know, it's funny. Listen.
But it can't get you there, but it's true. And then the thing about it is, sometimes you'll see people are having these back and forth because I remember being at Chili's one time and the people were behind us and I'm sitting where I could see. And I mean, it's back and forth. They're giving as good as they can get. And they get up, he gets up, and then she pops him in the back of the head. And then that just, you could kind of tell he saw stars. And he turned around, and when I tell you he pimp slapped her, he hit a back end to where she hit the stuff, and I mean, I know she was hurt because everybody was like, oh my gosh. But if you were someone that was the party that I was sitting with, they didn't see everything that I saw, where they were cowered down and you could tell they were just going back and forth, and then it got loud. He gets up and she pops in the back of the head. He turns around. All everybody saw was him turning around and
pimp slap.
And everybody was like, oh, well, he shouldn't do that. And I was like, well, that's true, but they've been sitting over there. And then I was like, let me see, is the police coming? Because if ain't no police coming, I ain't gonna tell y'all what's going on. Because I don't know if she gonna turn around. Because I have seen men help women who were getting their face pushed between the washers and the dryers, and then they help them out, and then they get up talking about, don't hurt him.
Right.
Yeah.
And now you going to jail for it.
Right. For trying to help. And depending on the state you're in, a lot of them stopped allowing that, New York being one of them very recently, where you could just decide you don't want to press charges and the cops would leave. So if you're still in a state that allows that, so now you didn't jump in, Blue. I said, nah, leave my man alone. So now you getting locked up for assaulting the dude that beat me up, and we going back home. Because I decided I don't want to press charges. And the cops said, okay, well, I'm out. So it's just kind of like,
call the police. What we're saying, you don't have to jump in and be physical, but call the police on them.
Yeah,
let
on
them
the way
know.
out the door.
Take a picture, take a video, show what was going on, and give it to the police so they can see it and they can know. And that way that you can be of assistance. Because like I said, I don't advocate for anybody putting their bodies in the middle of anything. Now, if you feel like that's your calling, then jump in, boo.
Right.
But I don't advocate because I have seen people jump in and trying to keep the guy off you, and then you see your guy getting
mollywopped.
And quiet as kept and as loud as I'm about to
this
say.
changes everything. My man got his ass beat.
Because he was going to get his butt beat because he wasn't going to ever stand toe to toe. He was never going to do that with no man. He's going to do it with you because he know that he can dominate you and all this other stuff. But you see your man getting beat up, then you want to jump in and join in to keep your man from getting beat up when just 5 minutes ago.
It becomes a whole big mess.
And then it's a whole big mess. So all I would say is take a picture, take a video, call the police, let them know that you're calling the police. You could do
and
something.
Snitch.
Look, you could pick up a brick
and
pop it in there.
Just snitch. Just go and tell it.
Go on and snitch. That's literally what you're doing. Just snitch. I'd rather snitch than get beat up or killed.
And there is no shame in it, y'all. I'm telling y'all right now.
I ain't got no shame. I'll snitch.
The way things are going on, you all have allowed criminals to dictate your moral standards. And baby, if they are out here doing stuff that they ain't got no business doing, you need to tell them. Yeah. I'm sorry. I am so sorry, because that's the only way that you're going to get them up and get them out of the community. Or unless, you do like the folks of old, wait till they go to sleep in their house and snatch them. But I ain't got nothing to do with that. But anyway, so I've given all the information that I have had in regards to all of this, Miss Rhoda. So I'm going to allow my panel to kind of give their perspectives about what is going on. About what they see in that, what happened back in the day. Because like I said, in the middle of the gender wars and the thing that had happened, it to me is like the gender wars were already happening. And then she takes this and she drops this bomb in it. Now, one of the things that I want to do, and I know a lot of people get upset and they get angry when I say this, because again, I don't care. But the thing that I peeped that pissed me off was the fact that you, as a Somali immigrant, you come in and then you decide to say that it was a black man that did this to you. Ethnically, we are different. And you are sitting here doing something, you are committing a crime, and then you're throwing it out because of these stereotypical things that people have told you all before y'all have come over here, that black people are this and black people are that. And that is not the true essence of what it is to be a black American. But because you know this, and you know that you will get traction behind it, you decide to blame a black man, a black woman, whatever. You decide to blame black people for your lawlessness and your lawlessness and your moral. What's the word, people? You don't have it. You don't have any morals. There's a word for it. But anyway,
immorality. No
morality. Depravity. You're out here doing all of this immorality, this depravity, and then you want to think that you're doing it in the guise of being a black woman. A lot of, like I said, I know what y'all see with hip hop and people, girls, and popping and twerking and everything, but though that is not the total essence of what it means to be ethnically a black American woman. But you're playing up on these stereotypes, and then you're not talking about your Somali, because I'm quite sure that when you want to be Somali, you're gonna put all your Somali garb on, and then you're gonna go over in your Somali community and act like nothing's going on, and they probably won't know what was going on either.
Right.
And I have an issue and problem with that portion of it. Now I'm good.
I'll let Danny go first.
Well, I mean, I pretty much said what I had to say about it. I agree. I think that, again, growing up in New York City, having a partially Caribbean background, the good thing is that partially Caribbean background fully assimilated into American culture. But I can tell you that, and I'm not just talking, I'm talking about all, unfortunately. Now, this is unfortunate. And again, I'm with Pam. I don't care if you get mad because I said what I said. But unfortunately, in the black diaspora, especially in big cities like Chicago, Minneapolis, Boston, Philly, New York, where a lot of these immigrant groups tend to initially settle, there is in the 90s, we used to call it ethnocentrism, where it's this better than mindset. And I even encounter it here in Florida. A better than mindset. A lot of it stems from exactly what you say. Now, obviously, there was not social media in the early 2000s, 90s, 80s, but you still get those stereotypes, though, that mindset that American blacks are lazy. A lot of Caribbean people call American blacks Yankees, Yankee this, you Yankee that, you Yankee. You know, you're lazy. You don't, we ask, because, they'll tend to, have 10, 15 jobs. I mean, I got 5, work hard to achieve the American dream. But the thing is that it's less about trying to show us Americans who have been here longer up as it is about being able to be that family member that made it, right? So, and that's across the diaspora. So you'll get here, you'll look down on Americans, you'll have these mindsets about foundational Black Americans, meaning those who have no connection outside of the time that their ancestors got dropped off here to date. That would be probably the Blue of the world, the Pam of the world, where you can trace back your roots all the way until that day that boat docked in whatever state your family originated from. In my case, the majority was Virginia.
I think most Black Americans is Virginia.
Yeah, the majority, and still to this day, that's where a lot of them, are or buried or whatever. So that's what I mean and that's what most people mean when they say foundational Black Americans. When I say American, I'm talking about that have no other connections anywhere else in the world other than Africa and then here in America since 1619. So there's usually, and I don't know anything about her family, but I'm assuming that she's probably first generation because she still kind of has a bit of an accent when she's not doing her Natalie Nunn imitation. So even more so, she has no connection to America. And in addition to whatever mental illness and man-hating and that man-hating thing could come from her culture.
Yes,
it could.
Yeah, from her community, because I know that they fly heads left and right out there in Africa.
And it's I think you're right. That could be exacerbated also too by the culture, the social media culture, what's going on. So she just fit right into that mold, and so
yeah, because you'd have to like I said, I can have empathy of it, but I don't understand it. But it boggles my mind that you leave your country because your country is doing all of these things, and then you want to bring it over here and have it Somalia 2.0. Because again, in their culture, they probably don't allow for the women to be doing a whole lot of different things. And here she is being bombarded with Western culture, where you're able to do and have all these different things. And then, like I said, because I know that she did an initial scam in Minnesota. And I know that in Minnesota, there is a huge Somali population because there was a guy who was of Somali ancestry that was running for
mayor, right? Mayor, governor, mayor, yeah.
And for those of y'all, because Danny is having me dying. This is Natalie Nunn.
Yeah, she looks like a chocolate Natalie Nunn, and then she talks. I hate that talk, that affected, over the top. And I mean, my voice is deep too, but her voice sounds like she smokes car exhaust. And then she she's just. I'm just, like I said, she's a true definition of a butterhead. Like anything here up is just like everything's wrong from here up, from her brain to her face to her the way she speaks. It's just like, stop.
Yeah, and I think that's what really played a big role into the reason why she got online to do that. It's kind of like what you said, Pam, getting online and you coming from Somalia or you just coming from You can come from Jamaica, Africa, it don't matter. You come
Mhm.
over and then you want to automatically just blame it on a black man based off of the stereotypes that you heard. That's disgusting.
And you know it's
That's
going to work.
right.
You know
And
it's going to work.
and that's the reason why you're doing it, because or you thought it was going to work. You thought it was going. It didn't
almost
work this
did.
time. It almost did.
If
Didn't
not
work
for
this
Daphne.
time. Right. If
Yeah,
not for Daphne.
And shout out to her because of the fact that had she not stayed on her behind, you know, and made sure that everyone was aware of this woman's media imprint of what she was, social media imprint of what she was putting out there, and then people, you know, shout out to the social media sleuths that went through those pages, because if I knew how to do that, it would be hell for y'all. I'm just telling y'all, it'd be hell for y'all. But shout out to the social media sleuths that can get out here and they can pull stuff from years back and pull all this stuff out and figure out how to get to all of these little different things and stuff like that. Because again, and I don't want anybody to think that we are just dogging the immigrant community. However, we have to put it out there so that people can understand, as Black Americans, what we face when we do talk about that these are the things that are going on. Because if you go online now, people will say, oh, well, y'all should be worried about the 8.5 by 11 people. You should be worrying about the white man and stuff like that. We continue to worry about that. We are Black Americans. We have dealt with these people forever and amen. What I am saying to you is this is the behavior that you're presenting. It's like the best way that I can put it, it's like you are a relative that's abusing me. And the way that you're abusing me is the way that these white people are abusing people. And you're trying to tell me, don't worry about how I'm abusing you. We all need to be focused on how they're abusing me. No. I have to worry about how you're abusing me because you are closer to me.
Right.
Which is worse. Coming from inside the house on this.
I shouldn't have to fight you. I shouldn't have to worry about you, because I think that was the when the big push of Pan-Africanism back in the 30s, and then once immigration became like real big in the 60s, they started, the Black immigration started being real big, Africans, Jamaicans, and West Indians and stuff like that. And we wanted this big rainbow coalition. If Black folks has got with other Black and brown folks, we're good. I think in theory that sounds good, but once it started, because they got different philosophies than Black Americans. They just do. And ain't nothing wrong with that.
You want to know what's crazy though? It was not like this in our grandparents' generation. And I'm going to tell you why. Like I said, part of my family's from Trinidad and Tobago. When my grandfather came here in, he was 1930 something.
Yeah.
Settled in Harlem. He came through Ellis Island because he was a merchant seaman. He fully, no, you cannot ask any of, he died in the 90s. You cannot ask any of my aunts and uncles. They, in a way, it's bad because there's no cultural connection, but there's no remnants of that really, right?
Right.
And I'm saying that to say that ethnocentrism that we started seeing in the 80s and 90s was not there. You look at I'm just gonna call them by their character names. Florida Evans. You got Sidney Poitier. You got damn, what's her name that just passed away? The one that played oh God, why can't I remember these people's names?
Girl.
Well, you got Harry Belafonte. You got
it's a couple of them.
You got Jack A. Harry. You got the one that played D on Amen, the big lady that played. All of them are first generation Americans, and you would never know it.
I think because
they wanted to be seen as, and they actually went out and advocated for Black Americans.
What
They did not differentiate
me and Pam did a big deep dive on what they call this, Pam, the sixth state or whatever they call it. What they call Black Americans?
We're the sixth region.
Sixth region. So now there's a reason why they have that, because I need to kind of make y'all look bad. It's I hate to say it.
Well, it's because they're competing for white favor. That's
right.
What I was going to
and that's what I was about to say. It's almost like what Trump does. Hey, I'm gonna break your shit, and then I'm gonna talk about how it's broken, and then I'm gonna make you come to me to fix it, even though I'm the one who broke it. It's that's kind of the same situation that I feel that they are in, and it's like you don't have to compete with me. You know what I'm saying?
They
like
were taught that if you align yourself with whiteness, that's how you survive in America.
That's how you survive. That's how you. That's how
they get here, realize that that's not the case, and now you want to look at us after you done called us all kinds of lazy Yankees. You know, you've been here all this time and you don't got what I got.
Mm-hmm.
But the minute ICE is knocking at your door, help
you looking
me.
for me to save you, right? After you done call me a cotter. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like you done call me slave cotton picker or whatever. Like
right, and everything, and told me that you think that Jamaicans are better than Americans because y'all got freed from slavery sooner. Meanwhile, why are you not over there then? Because we stayed in slavery longer so you could have somewhere to go and live comfortably.
You know,
but, go ahead.
Even with all of that, I can't understand when you have that mindset coming from the Caribbeans, knowing that how we all got here was the same way. It's just that where the boat stopped. But you know, and when I hear it from Africans, and when I say that, I'm talking about 54 countries in the continent of Africa. You all come from the continent, so whatever country that you're coming from, from the interactions that I have had, and I'm only going to speak for me. It doesn't matter what country you've come from, you still have the same attitude and mindset. So if I tell you that, that is what I'm meaning. It's almost like.
But
go ahead.
Not to cut you off, Pam, but that's the reason why I do think that they're, you know what I'm saying, the people who are trying to make that distinction between a ADOS or FBA or whatever, that needs to be had, because you're coming over from another country with a different mindset, a different culture, and then you're coming over and you are benefiting from, like you said, from 1619 all the way up to the labor, the backbreaking, the pain, the blood, sweat, and tears that we've done, and then you are shitting on it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
telling us we don't deserve reparations,
right. And they're putting, instead of putting somebody like me whose family lineage has been in America since 1619, the people who are writing these bills and stuff, I guarantee you their lineages of Jamaican or African or something else outside of Black America.
Absolutely.
So that's why that's why there hasn't been reparations, because over there in California, they voted no. Why they vote no? Oh, come to find out, that dude is of African descent. He don't believe in reparations. What y'all need reparations for? I came over here and did good. Y'all don't need reparations. You see what I'm saying? Like when you have those people making the laws, it make us and vote Black, and it's like, well, now I gotta do a little digging. Hold on, wait.
No, we got to do a little digging, because all skin folk is not kin folk.
Right, hold on.
But I was going to say this, and this is the thing that I have discovered, and this is the way I look at it. They come over here, and I don't know why they think. I do think that a lot of them come over here and absolutely think that we are still slaves. And they know it's not the truth, because globally, when you look at Black folks, melanated people, it's always Black American people that are showcased. But they'll come over from the continent and tell us, oh, well, y'all got that from Africa because y'all are African. You got this stuff from Africa because you're African. So tell me the country, the tribe, the region, or wherever it is that you all were out there doing hip hop music. Tell me where you all were doing jazz music. Tell me where you all were doing, because I see Kenya has a big country music fan base of thing where they out there line dancing and stuff. But tell me, and that's real recent. But tell me where these things, tell me where you can trace this stuff to me, and then they can't speak. It's just like, oh, but we are all black. Y'all have never said, and if they tell you that they have, they are lying. They have, because just now think about it, Blue, and I know that you probably look at it more so than I do, but have you ever noticed that when the pride that they have for their countries, they used to put these little flags in their bio. They used to put out this all happened, and up to January.
All right, I still got mine in there.
Okay, well, get your flag up.
but I'm FBA. No, but I'm FBA because my parents, they were here from.
Right. No, I'm just saying ain't nothing wrong with it. Keep your flag up.
But they had their flags up, but they were talking to us greasy with their flags up. But as soon as ICE was coming through the door, then it's like, we all black.
We all black. Oh, y'all ain't gonna say nothing. It's like, no, you got a flag, you got a home to go home to. Like, go ahead, go back home.
But that's the thing. You don't want to be there, but it's better.
Like I said, sense. That would be if I went to Nigeria and was trying to push my Southern Black American culture on Nigeria. I'm pretty sure they be like, man, if you don't sit your ass down, you can go back to America. Right. Take your ass back to America with that shit.
They wouldn't do that. Blue. We wouldn't even make it at that point, because even certain little thing, because and then when I say, because I know people that have gone over to places like Ghana, and there's another country, I can't think of it off the top of my head, but it's around in that little area up there.
Yeah. And
they have gone and they have purchased land and they have purchased houses and all of this stuff, because you're spending money. And then when they tell you, you know what, it ain't like you think it is, because it's all about infrastructure. And the infrastructure, because a lot of people go and they buy land and they want to retire and do stuff like that. It is more expensive because everything has to be paid for. Even if you want the police to assist you, they will steal from you. You get the police. Well, if you give us $100, we'll investigate your case.
Right. Because you're a Black American.
My aunt, my mom's sister, they're fully 100% American. Virginia, that's their only origin story other than off the boat.
Right.
And my aunt, the same year I was born, married a Ghanaian man. So they've been married the whole time. And they did that about 10 years ago. He bought land, bought a home, and like he basically lives there full time now. And she goes a few times a year for a few months here and there. And you're right. The internet, the water, everything. It's and he's from there, and he's actually from the royal family of that region. And still, what you say happens. They'll pull you over, run your pockets just to get past a certain highway. It's just craziness.
It's
they were talking about, this is the thing that really jolted me. They have to prepay for their electricity. And if they use up the thing, their electricity will cut off. And the same with the water and stuff like that. They have to have water tanks because
and you don't even know if you're getting your right amount.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't hear either, but at least it don't cut off unless you don't pay the bill.
And that's important because you have to factor all of that in. And then when you factor your land and stuff, when you start factoring in about your land and stuff, you have to now worry about your safety. Now, I do know we worry about the police, but you let the folks that come from the continent tell you, oh, you're safe. You can come and you can do this. But I got to pay the police to investigate my crime.
Yeah. And the quality of the investigation is based on how much you pay.
Right. Yeah. I had a discussion about that. It was a female friend of mine. She was like, oh, no, I love to move to Africa. At least then I'll be around my people. And I was like, those ain't I hate to say it. Those ain't your people.
It's
like you're gonna be an outsider and they're gonna treat you as such. Don't think you're gonna go over there and it's just gonna be all it's just a whole bunch of black folks. I said, yeah, now it's black folks. We talk about black on black crime here in America. Now it's really black on black crime. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
because everybody over there is black.
They
love you when you're a tourist.
There's definitely a welcoming spirit, but it's more from from the angle of for
Spend
the
your money.
economy.
Yeah, spend your
The
money.
economic side of it, right?
Yeah.
Because obviously, and this is not just Africa. This is Philippines.
That's anywhere.
Any
that's
country.
anywhere.
You can go to Philippines and get a full body massage for $5.
Right.
So when you look at it from that context, you can go get the same braids we get put in our hair and spend $300 here. You can get it done for $15, $20 over there.
Right.
So our money goes further, and so that's what the current come to Ghana, come to Nigeria.
They want your money.
To,
that's what me and Pam talking about. The sixth
about.
region. They want your money. They don't
because
necessarily
they
need
researched
you.
us really well in that regard. We can mess up some money. And if you can go over there and live like a king, the way you pretend that you're living on IG here in America, they know you're gonna come over there and spend some ones.
I got a friend of mine who's over there. I got a friend of mine over there. He bought all of this land. He's building like this big giant. He said they make sure that he can't get the labor done and all that. Like they taxing him on different type of system. When I say tax, I don't mean like you gotta pay taxes, meaning like they're destroying it to hey man, if you want this, yada yada yada, you gotta pay this. He'll come back to the state because he still got businesses in the States. He'll come back to the States, go back, they'll be done vandalized his house. I was like, yeah, I wouldn't want nothing like that. Like,
no.
You know what I'm saying? I might as well do that here.
And that's the thing too. To be clear to everybody's watching, because this is not for me anyway. This is not intended to be divisive or
no. I'm not trying to. I'm just stating fact.
In context, I'm positive everything that we're speaking of happens to us here in America. I mean, I always complain about the water, the electricity, the fact that you only get one choice depending on where you live, and whatever they say the bill is, that's what it is.
Yeah, but I might get an insurance payout here.
Huh?
I might get an insurance payout here.
Hey, that's what I was about to say. we are getting robbed. We're completely getting robbed, especially by electricity companies and other utilities where we don't get a choice in who we use. Most cities and towns, you get one electric provider, one water provider, one gas provider. You might be able to choose your gas provider. I know in Atlanta area you can, but electric and water, it's whatever your county, that's exactly it. So whatever they say that you owe, you owe. You can tell them to come check the meter. They'll claim they check the meter and they'll still say you owe it. So it's pretty much the same. We're all getting had and taken advantage of. It's just not as blatant and obvious there. It's more insidious here. There's a lot of corruption here. But like Blue said, we have the illusion of safeguards in place that make it less likely that it will be as brazen and as frequent and as dangerous as it would be in a so-called third world country where there's no, you have
but he in Nigeria.
Nigeria,
he's in Lagos. Lagos ain't a third world country. Or
I'm saying third world because that's what mainstream white people call it. Most of these countries aren't third world countries, but if it's not America or Europe, then it's third world. You understand what I'm saying? Because most of those countries are richer than here, but you can't tell America that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But like I said, I just think that I wanted to bring that up because I have just noticed that in a lot of things I have to start, when I start seeing they talk about, well, this black man has done this, I'm having to question, where is this person from? Where what are his roots? Because don't say that he's a black American when he might be a Nigerian, because they're very proud when they're doing good and telling you they're doing better than you because they're doctors and they're lawyers, as if we come from families that don't have doctors and lawyers and all this other stuff. Because again, America puts out about black people that all black people come from the hood. My folks ain't never lived in the hood. They was country.
I did, so all mine came from the hood of the South, the hood of Trinidad, and the hood of New York.
You
Me
know,
included.
but I'm just saying that is the perception that they have, and they have
Right.
this certain perception of how people are, and people are shocked when they see that. Oh, you're not. Wait a minute, what's going on? How did you?
Yeah, they do
Down
this.
the street from where my parents are, there is a Nigerian family, and I guess
Mhm.
they thought that they were the only
Affluent.
black folk
Okay,
down
yeah.
over
Now
there
I
in that
do get
thing.
that.
Mhm.
And you know, my folks been there since 1988, so I know that they broke ground when the neighborhood was just a horse pasture. So
Right.
they broke ground with a whole bunch of people around there, and I remember them coming around the corner, and I was standing outside or something with my brother, and they were coming around the corner, and they did one of these numbers, like, oh my goodness, because down the street I saw them because I was coming to my parents' home.
Mhm.
And they had stopped, and you could, because I had my window down, and I heard them, talking. They was and we're standing outside near the road, and they walked by, and we were like, hey, and they
Oh
gave us one
my,
of
there's
those.
more of us? Because yeah, that's another mindset too, that they want to be the only
Yeah.
of, because I get that a lot even where I live, because now the prices are so inflated that whenever you get new people move in, they're looking at you like how you got here. I didn't overpay for my house, boo-boo. You
Number
did.
one. Yeah,
That's
because when I
number
got here,
one.
it wasn't that expensive.
But thank
That's
you, because now my equity doubled and damn near tripled. But the point is, I totally get that. I get that now that I'm not in the hood, but because I see it, and me and my husband talk about it all the time. I'm like, it's just crazy how they always size, and it's not just us, it's everybody. They'll size you up like, how'd you get in here? Like,
and the pace. It was so funny, the pace that they started walking, as if we're gonna jump from a corner lot and jump
Mhm.
on you because you're walking by. And I know where you live at, and where you live at, your house is half the size of my parents' house. And it is not a
and
brag or
you pay
anything like that.
triple, quadruple for
Yeah,
it.
it's not a brag or anything, but what are you doing? And then when you say hello to them, they're like, and they're just walking fast. I'm like, what is wrong with y'all?
It's very weird. It's hard
It's
to even
weird.
articulate. It's strange. I don't like Amanda Seales at all, but I can be objective. And she's of Caribbean descent, I think, on her mom's side, and she about it. I'll give her that. And she did have a discussion recently with it was a whole panel thing. She was
Yeah,
in the
that's what
middle
she
of
sat
the
down
floor.
with the Jubilee.
Oh, she tore that dude to
Yeah.
shreds. And I was like, good, because he sat there. He was a first generation American Black. And
you're exactly right, because he was like, because where he was from, he wasn't living around a lot of Black people, but he had all of these opinions about, oh, well,
what we
y'all don't do
deserve.
this and y'all don't do that, and I come here, my folks come here, and we work hard. Who are you telling that we didn't work hard?
Right.
Where did you get that from? I said, and then when you try to explain to them history, because they don't know the history, they don't
No.
want to know the history. Do you not understand that they started calling us lazy when they were no longer able to get free labor from us?
Right.
Right.
Now
like
we lazy.
we ain't tired after 400 plus years.
Do you know they started calling us criminals because of the fact that the only way that they could have slaves was if someone
Jail
had gone to
population.
prison?
Yep.
I said, you
Read the
understand?
book Slavery by Another Name. That's literally what the book is about. How they started finding reasons to arrest us, to re-enslave us.
Exactly. So
legally.
I need to understand that history. If you understand that history, then you will understand where these biases come from. They're going to call us lazy. They're going to call us lazy because, again, we're not doing the work that they believe that we should be working for and the pay that they should get. Migrant workers will take the pay that they give them because, again, they're wanting to come over, and they believe if I work hard, then I will be accepted. You see that don't work out. They don't care nothing about you. They want you to work, and they want to give you the money that they want you to have, which is probably
pennies on the dollar,
90% less than what you should be getting.
Right.
And so they're pissed off of that. So they're thinking in their heads, and I need for you all to understand that you Black folks that come from another country, they move the migrants out of here. They're going to probably move most of y'all out of here because they think that if they do all of that, then the black folks here
We'll
will
take
then
the job.
settle for
We're gonna go
the
right
job
back into those. Yep. And they're gonna
Yes.
be in for a rude awakening because
because
the thing is,
they don't want black folks in positions of power. They don't want black folks in positions of power. Teaching, what do you mean you be a teacher? No, we need the white women teaching you all what we want you to teach you.
Right.
What, you mean being in off of Wall Street or in business? No. That's places. And then the thing about it is, which is so crazy, white women will who are the most treacherous of the white race. They will get in and they will espouse all of this stuff, and they don't even see the fact that they don't want y'all there either. They don't want y'all there either.
Right.
So they, it's you've got a whole bunch of white men dominating and trying to move and situate these situations where the things should be. That's what they want. They want it to where they're in those at the water cooler, being able to laugh and be ha ha he misogynist if they want to be, and they don't have to worry about anything. And if you're there working, then you're Girl Friday. You're the secretary bringing me my coffee and bringing me my stuff and stuff like that. That's the world that they want to matriculate through again. They don't want to have to change into a modern situation. And I will say this, and then I'll continue to let y'all talk. Racism is expensive. Let me explain to you why it's so expensive. So here we are coming off the 60s and all of the technology and things like that were happening. And even though that there have been milestones made, we are probably 50 years behind China. We are probably 50 years behind some European countries and things like that. Because Japan, because racism is expensive.
It's expensive. Yep.
Because you have all of these people, and I'm talking about America in the full tense of who America is. You have a lot of folk here who have a lot of innovative ideas. You have a lot of folks out here that can move healthcare, cars, energy. You can move things to the next level. We should be the leaders in a lot of stuff, but we're not, because you've got a subsection of our population that believes that they should be ruling, and everybody should be. They're so busy worried about being on top and being on stuff like that, that all of this innovation and stuff like this has gone to the wayside. And if innovation comes in, you want to buy it up and buy it out and hoard it for yourself. You don't want it to go out for anything, because you want people to start paying for the mediocre stuff that you have. And I need y'all to understand and know that you all are running around here sick because you're about to lose your health care, because they have passed that big, beautiful bill that now has gotten rid of some people who relied on subsidies. Now you're sitting here having to pay more for health care for your family than your mortgage is.
Yeah.
And so racism is expensive, where you could leave all of that, and you could leave all of that in the past. Because if you want to be racist, that's your business. But racism should not permeate all the systems and things like that, and the government and things like that we have, because it's expensive and it just holds us back as a nation, as a community. But I know we went off on a tangent talking about that, but I just needed to, again, I'm going to bring it back to what we were talking about. I needed to make sure that everybody understood that I understand that she is a Somali immigrant, or a child of a Somali immigrant. And so therefore she's doing all of these crimes and all of these things, but then want to blame it on Black people. And I don't think that is correct or right.
Yeah.
Of course not. But that's just what happens, right? This was just one of the more recent and egregious examples of that. But that's not anything new, if that's the right way to put it. It's not anything new.
Right.
It's just something that's been on the forefront, and that's probably, like I said, the most recent and the most egregious example of how that happens. But this stuff happens in everyday life. Like you said, water cooler type stuff, office stuff, you're working, your regular everyday work life stuff, where you're being undermined, with that kind of mindset that, I'm gonna run and tell.
You can't go to work because you can't work and do the best that you can, because if you do the best work that you can, then they want to pile on more work on you. Or if you just there to do your work and you're not there to explain or talk about your personal life and stuff like that, then you're angry and standoffish.
Right.
Like you won't be able to win for losing.
Yeah, I think also when it, like, going back to her, just trying to stick to what she did, and piggybacking off of the man versus, the black man versus black woman situation that was going on around that time. And for her to double down, for so many people to double down, even a lot of black men. I saw Umar double down. Like I said, I talked about Conscious Lee. He just put out a video. He moving the goalpost. Oh, Texas is real hard on. Why did they? It's like, no, just admit you was wrong about. You know what I'm saying? My thing is, just admit you was wrong about her. You know what I mean? Just admit you was wrong about her.
Right.
So there's no need to double down and try to make it seem like, oh, well, she got the treatment was unfair. She was wrong. Ain't no unfair treatment. She was wrong.
No unfair treatment. She lied. She lied, and she was going to continue to lie.
Right.
She lied to the tune of $43,000.
Right. And not just that, it helped, like I said, it helped a divide. It helped further the divide between black men and black women. She was part of that. So if they did like a wrap up of black men and black women, like if it was like a wrap up, her story would be in there. If there was a book on that, it would be a chapter on her. You know what I'm saying? That's not a good thing to. I'm not doubling down on her. She was wrong. She was wrong.
And like you said, the evidence came out like in the first week.
Right.
So it's just like, how did it get this far gone? It's like y'all just want so bad for some black man to go down.
And that's what is bad about it. That when men do say, because a lot of that, it wasn't that a black man was trying to not believe a black woman, but it was like, nah, this just don't sound right. Like, I don't know too many black men who just get down. And that's another thing. I don't know too many black men who just get down like that. Or you know what I'm saying? Just on black women that way. I know they push that narrative.
Right. Right.
I don't know black, you know what I'm saying? So the black men who are to my left and to my right, we don't get down like that. So I'm not finna be like, oh yeah, he probably did that shit, or that shit probably happened, because that's not regular. It's not regular. It's just not.
And definitely not unprovoked. Not unprovoked. Right. And like I said, that's not justifying it, but nobody's going to just unprovoked bust you on the side of the face with a brick.
But well, it was because
allegedly
she didn't want to give up her number.
So he bust her in the head with a brick.
Right. Say what now? Like, that don't even make sense. Maybe you get cussed out. Like, I seen that happen. Well, going on, fuck you then, y'all. I see that. But a brick,
say stupid stuff and start calling names and because I was fly until I said no. Now all of a sudden my head is big. I'm cockeyed. I got knock-knees. I've seen that. That happens a lot in New York. But definitely not nobody physically assaulting someone because they didn't want to talk to them. That's just, and to that extent where you could possibly kill them.
And I just want us as a whole, black men, black women, just, hey, we need to start taking the time to actually assess these things. We don't even need to, don't come out and say nothing until we get a better, bigger picture of what's going on, because it seems like the more we do that, the more we end up with egg on our face. You know what I'm saying? The more we do that, soon we come to a conclusion the day of, we end up with egg on our face. Just stop, let this stuff play out. If they go into court, let's see what happens in court. Let's see what evidence come up, because it's just crazy.
Let me share this with you all. This is her.
Why'd she go to court looking like that?
That's a jumps. That's her jumpsuit.
No, I mean her head. Like, why is her hair not combed? Like, what's going on?
She was in the jailhouse.
they have scrunchies in the jail.
No,
no, she might strangle herself with the hairband.
There she is. But I wanted to read what Daphne, shout out to Daphne. She says, I know some of y'all are tired of me posting, but understand this. Roda Osman divided the black community. For 2 years, men were attacked, doxxed, and slandered because of her lies. She threatened her, Daphne, talked about me, and sent her flowers to shut my pages down. sent her followers to shut my pages
Mhm.
down. This was my longest case, and I'm proud to say I testified. All that voodoo manipulation and fear tactics could not stop the truth. She was found guilty. She was the one crying Tasha K tears, not Tasha K tears.
Tasha K tears, yeah.
So I also wanted to share this too because I got so much stuff. This is where they showed that she had done a GoFundMe back in 2020. It says here, Mrs. Sutton provided me with another GoFundMe account created by or for the defendant Osman in 2020 with the same narrative of a, quote, black man hitting her. Ms. Sutton advised that she was making TikToks about the incident, and some of defendant Osman's friends reached out to her to provide a statement. Ms. Sutton gave me the phone numbers of Rachel and stated that she is the ex-roommate of the defendant Osman. Ms. Sutton stated Rachel wanted to speak with me. Ms. Sutton stated that Rachel lived in Minneapolis, where the first GoFundMe was created. And it said here that she needed an estimated of $5,000. That's where I got it from, but I think she collected less than $5,000 from it. So this is the same thing. And here's that statement right up here: black man hitting her.
Right.
And that is why I wanted to make sure that I talk to, I like to talk to my audience real. I'm letting you know it's not a hate thing. It's just that we are seeing that people are coming over scamming and using these stereotypes of black men always beating, black men always doing all these types of things to people. And then it's not the truth. And so what if there was no video
Daphne.
evidence?
Or Daphne.
What if
black men got to be protected, y'all? We got to protect black men.
We got to protect Daphne at all costs.
You know, I'll protect a black man that's worth protecting.
and the reason I'm
created equally, but
right, the reason I'm saying that, I'm saying it jokingly a little bit, but there is truth to that, because she wouldn't have done that with a white man, because if she would have said a white man did that, it would have been a full-blown investigation, and she would have been, you know what I'm saying, a week of, she would have been arrested for lying or whatever. The
and she would have did more than 90 days.
90
that's
days.
I'm sure.
So she knows who to go after. That's the disgusting part about it. She knew who to plant the lie on, so she can get away with it. Hey, I did it on a smaller scale up in Minneapolis. Let me come down to Texas and do it big. That's crazy.
Because in the South, black folks aren't really revered in the South like
Publicly
that.
apologize.
So
and a lot are scared because they got papers.
Those Tasha K.
Yeah, I didn't want to play what
a lot got papers on them too, so they're scared to to say anything or fight back, because it's like, if I say something or fight back, they might pull that warrant or I might get violated. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this worked out the way it probably should have, because honestly, if not for Daphne and whoever else did their internet super sleuthing, she probably would have got away with it, because she thought she was. Did you do you have the video I sent you of her talking about Daphne?
Let me get to it, girl. Let me
This
go back.
is the voiceover of that video, but there's an actual video of her standing in her kitchen or wherever, talking about Daphne and basically saying that she's not going to get in trouble and nothing's going to happen to her. And then this is the voiceover showing that she was wrong, that she did get caught and something did happen.
Them receipts, they get you every time. Every time.
I think this is it. Come on, YouTube. What's going on?
And then her voice did some demonic Reagan from The Exorcist thing, because first she sounded like Blue and then she started sounding like Natalie Nunn. And I'm like, how did her voice change like that?
Natalie
Nunn. So deep at the beginning, I had to play it like 3 times to make sure I was listening to the right video.
I don't know why it's not coming up.
Let me see.
Hold on.
If I text it to you, it comes up on your
Oh, it says the video has been removed by the uploader.
That one where she was talking with that weird deep voice.
Must be. Hold on. Let me go back up. That's Black Panther. Hold on. Yes, this might be it. Hold on. This might be it. Hold on. No, this is.
I'm trying to see when I sent it.
Hold on.
Yeah, it was so weird. I'm like, what the heck? Is this it? Hold on.
Hold on. Is this it? Hold on.
No, that's
Publicly apologize. Because if you don't, I swear to God, those Tasha K tears, we're going to put them on t-shirts and make even more money off of you.
Well, you can play this one from the beginning because this is the voice.
Fuck around and find out. Daphne,
This is
I already got you in a chokehold. Say sorry. Publicly apologize. Because if you don't, I swear to God, those Tasha K tears, we're going to put them on t-shirts and make even more money off of you.
That's crazy for her to even say that.
But then there's a video that goes with that voiceover, and in the beginning of the video, her voice was wild deep, and I was just like, "Ooh, what the hell?"
Just knowing you in the wrong like that.
Yeah. So I wish I could find the video so you could see it in context. See how she was looking and talking when she made that particular post.
Wow.
Wow, just real wild. And I'm just like, wow, okay.
And you know one thing I didn't like, Pam, that the one girl you played with the short hair who was
Francesca.
Yeah, I didn't trying to say that something is mentally and some could be mentally ill with her, but I don't want to give her that. She was just wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she just did a bad thing. She's morally wrong. Why we can't just let
that is because, you know, again, when, you know, like I said, there's no longer any moderates. Everything is either to the extreme left or everything is to the extreme right. There's no moderates. That is because you want to double down on your talking points. Right. And if your talking points have been debunked, then you go to mental illness.
Yeah, it's like,
and the thing is that but we have these discussions a lot. Having mental illness, aside from being a serial killer or some other uncontrollable psychopathy that's just like beyond functioning in society, having a job, driving, you know, going grocery shopping, having a normal mental illness where you can function in society does not mean that you are morally corrupt.
Right.
Correct.
And that's where people tend to cross the line. You can be bipolar, you can be schizophrenic, you can be even a borderline personality and still not do something like that. There are plenty of people walking around with all these diagnoses, medicated or not, that do not commit crimes.
Right.
That do not deliberately seek out hurting people.
Right.
For fun.
I hate that. Oh, but they're probably mentally ill. Like, nah, they not ill. Man.
She probably is, but that does not mean she doesn't have have morals.
I don't think she is.
Bankrupt morally. And plus, she's a scammer.
That's it.
Let's be clear about the situation.
She's just a scammer.
She's a scammer. She's a scammer, and she got caught scamming. So all those tattoo, like she said, them Tasha K, in her own words, her Tasha K tears is not gonna help her because she got caught.
So now
scamming.
we can make the t-shirt. Daphne can make the t-shirts of this
exactly
and make money.
She got caught scamming, and you don't want to take the just you don't have to double and triple down on that. I was wrong. She scammed me. You know what I'm saying? She scammed me. But again, when I looked at her face, I'm like, that, you know, and what bothers me about when you're too far to the left and when you're too far to the right, when people start using their critical thinking skills, you try to emotionally blackmail them into, oh, well, you don't protect women, or you don't protect this, and you don't do this.
Or no, you're a pick-me. You're a pick-me.
You're a pick-me. You're this. You're that.
And I don't know why pick-me is a bad thing. I don't know why that's.
It's not to me. I'm picked like a mug. Picked 22 and a half years. And picked really well.
I would say this about this term before it became ubiquitous about it. It's almost the women who would say or talk about certain things, they weren't coming from a place of they were in healthy, loving relationships. They were coming from a place that they were miserable and they wanted you to come into their misery. Does that make sense?
Okay.
That was where that term initially came from. But now it's ubiquitous and everybody thinks, oh, well, I got this and I got that. And you have to watch certain things. Like I said, the most dangerous person in the United States of America is a Caucasian woman, because she knows how to use these tears and use all these things. And before you know it, somebody is strung up, hung up, or they're in jail. Because you
Right.
remember this case where the woman, and she wrote a book and everything, said that this man had raped her. And then come to find out he didn't do anything. And then she doubled and tripled and quadrupled down. And they were like, no, this didn't happen. And other people were coming out and stuff like that. But you done wrote whole books. I think the book was made into a television, a Lifetime movie series or some mess
That's
like that.
crazy.
But you doubled and tripled and it quadrupled down on that kind of stuff. But we know that you do this because we've seen a lot of black men that have gone to jail for rape, and then the DNA bails them out, and then they're
40
standing there
years,
like
50 years later.
Yeah.
exactly. So we understand and we know this, and like I said, folks that need to go to jail need to go to jail. People get mad at me when I'm like, Diddy needed to have gone to jail. He may not have done.
Absolutely.
Some
That's
people
why
had
I
to sit
checked
down.
out of that whole conversation. He needed to go to jail.
He needed to go.
I'm not getting into all the nuance behind whether you down with letting people pee in your mouth and smear jizz all over your chest. I really don't care about that.
Not. I don't care nothing about that.
My point,
I saw that, even though it wasn't that, but the actions that he did, he flew them folks out. You flew that's what you got convicted of. Well, it shouldn't be a crime. I don't have nothing to do with it. Y'all understand what the laws are. All y'all got to go is to Schoolhouse Rock back in 1970. Type in Schoolhouse Rock, and they'll tell you how to bring a bill forth to the Congress,
to Capitol Hill,
to change a law. And I'm being, wait a minute, let me make sure you see my face when I say
they
this.
even sang the song about no kings
exactly.
that everybody's talking
all
about.
You got to do is go to Schoolhouse Rock, and they will show you how I'm just a bill. It's called I'm just a bill.
I'm just a bill.
Only a bill. And you can listen to that song, get it in your head, go to the library or go to Google, figure out how you can get this in front of your congressman, senator, or whoever it is. Let them go through the things, and so you could pass a law. People have done it for eons, ever since this country is done. You can do that to get that Mann Act taken off of the roll, so they won't do it.
But you want to know something, Pam? I wouldn't even go that far. I think, unfortunately, this is not a generalization. I'm just saying for this particular topic, as Black people, we have a really hard time being objective when it comes to, I get the historical significance of mass incarceration and, institutional systemic racism. I get it. But all Black people are not created equally. We cannot, just because you defend one alleged guilty Black man does not mean you need to defend every alleged guilty Black man that comes in front of your face. That's just not, first of all, it's not helpful to our cause.
Our cause, yeah, it's not.
Because that means we can't trust your judgment, because, you might have been right in this case, but you're completely wrong in this case, and you're going 10 toes down with this. So now I'm questioning your judgment, because I'm like, are you just defending them because they're Black, because you're a fan, because you like their music? When I tell you, I want to say 70% of my R&B playlist is stuff that Diddy produced. So, you understand what I'm saying? So what? He has a very solid place in musical history. But that does not mean that he did not do what he do. Do what he did. Same with R. Kelly. You understand what I'm saying? We have to learn how to compartmentalize. You can like this person's music and not believe that he's innocent. Two things can be true at the same time.
Right.
You can like the artist that he's put out and not believe that he's innocent. You can think that Cassie should have been locked up too, and I believe that she should have. But just like a similar case that we covered, because she cooperated.
Y'all hold it down. Just hold it down. Hold it down. I got to answer this call from my mom.
Oh.
Like what?
Gotta answer when mama call. I get that.
Because she cooperated, she got away with the same crimes that he committed.
Right.
And that's just how it works, though. We always say that you can't apply TV law to real law, But in this case, this is literally how TV law works. Whoever cooperates gets to walk.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing about Law and Order and countless other TV law shows that holds true. Whoever cooperates either gets to completely walk or they get a much lesser sentence, depending on, you know, the severity of the crime. Now, usually with murder, you're going to do some kind of time, but you rarely walk on a murder. Now, there was a girl that did walk on the murder of a friend of mine that I'm still mind blown about to this day. And actually, I interviewed for that episode of 48 Hours. Long story short, she lured him out to Long Island, and her abusive boyfriend basically shot him in the face and killed him because she was messing with him while being with the abusive boyfriend. It took 8 years for them to solve the crime. She finally decides to cooperate to get this boyfriend locked up. She's chilling. Did not serve 1 day in prison, and she was the one that set the whole thing up.
That's crazy.
And admitted to it.
Yeah.
Craziness. But yeah, that was one rare instance where the person that actually helped participate in the murder didn't do any time at all, not even probation. She didn't even do probation because she's on LinkedIn as we speak with a good job and everything. Craziness. But yeah, I mean, two things can be true at the same time. And that's why I kind of get frustrated because I'm just like, why can't we think like that? Why does it have to be so linear and so, like you said, this or that?
Because
There's
I mean,
no
it go
in between.
because it go back to the and you know, rooting for everyone black, like what
or believe women. It's the same mindset.
Right, you know, which I don't have no issue with believe women. Believe them when they believe a bull. Like when they believe a bull. Like women, no, I didn't say believe all women. I just said believe women. I can believe you. Like you can come to me. Let's say something happened to you, Danny, or let's say you scheming. I can believe you, but then once new information shows up, you see what I'm saying? Once new information shows up, I'm not standing 10 toes down with Danny after I found out she got. Danny, you come over with the damn knife in hand, blood all over the place,
right?
And you talking about, oh no, I didn't do nothing, and it's like, oh well, we gotta believe her. She's the victim. I'm like, wait a minute.
Or don't blame, because that's the psychological game. Oh, we're blaming the victim. No, I'm asking questions.
No, well, why you got the knife in your hand?
And that's
Danny?
the whole point. People want
you're blaming the victim. What do you mean? Why do I have the knife in my hand? How dare you ask me a logical question?
Because people want you to believe them lock, stock, and barrel. And then because they think that you questioning them is criticizing them. And that's not what's happening. Judging them. That's it.
Hold it down. But yeah, like when it comes to stuff like that, like I said, the you know, because that person is black, we gotta ride with them. I'm fine. Yes, let's ride with them until we find out.
Until I find out you did something crazy.
that they did that. Oh, whoa, wait, hold on, man. Nah, the evidence is too overwhelming for me to just You know what I'm saying? Right. Now it's time for me to ask some real questions. Let's really ask some questions here. Did this person do this? Yada yada yada. Whoop de whoop. Because
did this happen the way you're saying it happened?
That you're saying it happened, right? Because now we all finna look stupid. Everybody who on your side is about to look.
And that's my point. That is my only point. In the majority of the time, when I'm kind of pushing back on, you know, a lot of that, you know, recent example, Diddy, you know, whatever. That's why I push back, because I'm just like, if we have to maintain momentum, and the minute you get proven that you're just riding for anything, then it kind of like, okay, what's Blue talking about now?
Right. It takes the validity. It takes the sting away. The validity. My homeboy, who I rock with, everything with him is race. I'm like, dog, we in America, we know it's race, but let's get past that. Let's see what's really happening. Let's get to the nuts.
What did you do?
Situation. Right, because
what did you do?
Yes, race. We know that. You black, I get it. But what did you do something? Is there something else going on? Because in order when I want to go with the race thing, I do. But if it ain't race, now what?
Now
you see what I'm saying? If it ain't deemed racist, Now what? What you got?
Now what?
We got to have all our ducks in a row because we always playing from behind, especially as a black man in America. We playing behind, so we got to have them ducks in a row. We just screaming racism. That don't do nothing for nobody. That don't do nothing.
Well, it waters down your case, especially if you
case.
actually did do something.
Right. It just takes it. Oh, you just don't want to see me because I'm a black man. We know that. But what did you do?
That's a foregone conclusion. But what did you do?
But what did you do? Like what made you get into the radar? Why is the bullseye on you? What did you do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I can protect you accordingly. I can't protect you accordingly, or I can't ride for you accordingly because you just want to say, oh man,
it's
you
racism.
Know how these white folks said yada yada yada. I'm like, yeah, I know, but how did you even get in the atmosphere of being around these white folks for them to do something to you? You know what I'm saying?
And me and my husband have this. I would take it something as simple as getting pulled over. Driving while black. Right. Now that is a real thing up in New York. Because like I said, it's real racist.
Nah, it's a real thing.
I don't even know why people think.
But you in Florida too, right?
Yeah, I'm in Florida. I'm in Tampa area. Yeah. So me and my husband have this discussion all the time. We have not lived in New York since a week after we got married. So 23 and a half plus years we've been in the South between Florida and Georgia. We went to Florida 3 years, went to Georgia for 8, came back to Florida. So we've been back in Florida going on, I think, 13 years. I can tell you we got pulled over one time and we were wrong. This was in Georgia, coming from Tampa. I think is it Perry? I don't know, but we were doing like 80 and a 60. Didn't hear the cop behind us, sirens blaring because he said he followed us for 2 miles. We didn't notice him, and it just so happened we had rented a Tahoe, so of course I call that the Negro Mobile. So he probably thought we were running drugs or something. Well, we just got a ticket, a regular ticket, and then a super speeder ticket from Georgia. Boom. Fine. The point of this conversation is my husband's like, I don't understand why people keep saying, now again, we're not in Jacksonville, we're not in Tallahassee. Those are different animals. That's real deep south. That I would truly say that is racism there. I'm talking about Tampa, where it's really diverse, Miami, Atlanta, a lot of diversity. Like I said, we've only got, and there's plenty of times I got pulled over maybe 2 more times in the last 4 years, didn't get a ticket because I was on my way to work, 5:45 in the morning, speeding, trying to get to work. I was nice, showed them my teacher ID. Sorry, I'm rushing to work. Okay, just a warning. Ran my license, so I didn't have anything. Let me go. But I know I was guilty, so I cannot sit there and be like, "Oh, he's just pulling me over." Because I was doing 50 and a 25, 60 and a 40. Yeah. I was guilty, so I'm not going to sit there and be like, "Why'd you pull me over?" I admitted it right away. Showed him, had my ID and stuff ready before he even got to the window. Ran my license, so I didn't have any points. Let me go, and then I had kids in the car, so that helped. But the point is, there is a disproportionate number of Black people getting pulled over because that's the neighborhood you're in.
Yeah.
It's not that you're in a neighborhood that's majority white and they're only pulling you over because you're Black. Where we live, we're in Pasco County. It's still about 80% white. There's a lot of Black and others moving in because of new construction. But statistically, it's still my neighborhood, my block alone. You would think that it's more diverse because my block is majority Black people on my street. But
I'll be right back.
Okay. But outside of my subdivision, it's still a lot of, trailer park, whatever.
Right.
But you don't see any Black people getting pulled over. Why? Because it's majority white.
Right.
You understand? So same thing when you're in a majority Black neighborhood, of course, that's all you're going to see being pulled over because that's all that lives there. It's not about racial profiling so much as it is that's the demographic that's there. Now, when you go somewhere like New York, yeah, you can make that assumption because it's way too diverse that every time I turn around, I'm seeing a Black person pulled over.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, even where I live at, I would say that I would see the latter because we are pretty much it's a 51-49 split.
Okay, so
like
you have
majority.
balance. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a pretty good balance. However, you will see more people that look like me. And like I said, the neighborhoods are pretty, there are very, what they do now here is that they'll go off into like an unincorporated town and then build it up till it's incorporated, and then they'll be there. That's how they're trying to move the move. That's where the 51 to 49 split. But you can't go anywhere in my city and not run into folks that look like me. However, when they pull you over, you are more to get a ticket versus, because everybody's getting pulled over. But what's happening is you're the one that's going to get the fine and the ticket.
I see what you're
more
saying.
So than somebody else is going to get the fine and the ticket. Because a lot of times what happens, the people who are joining the police department look like this, look are white versus black. And so if they're pulling somebody over, they're pulling over a friend they went to high school with, or the mother, or the sister, or the brother, or something like that. And so they will give them the benefit of the doubt versus you, and unless whoever is on that police department looks like you, and then they'll give you a little stern talking to, and then they possibly will. But if you know,
watch your speed. Well, the 2 times I got pulled on my way to teaching, it was Caucasian, but
yeah, it just.
But like I said, I know I was wrong. I know I'm pretty self-aware. I'm not going to sit. First of all, I got to go to work. Second of all, I know the likelihood of me getting a ticket is higher if I sit here and act like I wasn't speeding, because I was. So
I think for the most part, black folks are self-aware whether they don't. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the ones that don't be so super loud and egregious with it. That adds to the stereotype. Yeah, that's the thing about
my guy.
And everything. Let me explain to you all too, because I know that racist is a word that people love to use and throw around. A lot of people, what you're experiencing is bigotry, and prejudice. Racism requires there have to be that they can hold something over you. So in other words, like we were talking about the police or anything like that, if the only reason that they're pulling you over is because you look like this, but you would understand and know when that was. But when you're online and someone calls you a certain name, oh, well, you're being racist. No, they're probably being bigoted. And they're probably being prejudiced. And I think
that 2 different things. We use the words too interchangeably.
And you will win the argument calling them a bigot or being prejudiced more so than you would call them a racist. And this is where we're getting all of this black fatigue and everyone's racist and all this other stuff. They understand and know what racism is. They've been practicing it forever.
Right, it's their word.
It's their word. It's their word. But you start using words like, well, you're being a bigot, you're being prejudiced, and those or you're being biased. But I think we like to I don't want you to keep throwing that word racist around until it gets to be ubiquitous, and it doesn't mean or have the power behind it that it actually has.
Because at the end of the day, racism comes with a certain amount of power too. Yeah. And the majority of these people have absolutely no power.
Right.
The only power that they have is that they think that the way they look automatically affords them certain privilege that they do not have, especially in towns like the one that I live in, where the vast majority of the people getting locked up, like I said, locked up, pulled over, plastered all over the county inmate, because a lot of these southern counties, they like to embarrass the inmates. So they have Facebook pages where they post their mugshots and cracking jokes on them and let us comment. 90% of them are not us.
Yeah.
Now, we had Stacey Dash a couple of years ago, but the rest of them were not us. Remember when she got locked up in Newport Richie for, I think she hit her fiance at the time. They were living in some apartment complex.
I remember when that happened.
Yeah, that was right up the street from my house where they took her. She probably
I know she stayed down there.
Huh? She's not here anymore, but in 2019, she was slumming it big time because she wasn't even living in a house. She was living in some apartment complex. And if anybody knows where Newport Richie is, that's
I'm not under the pretense of thinking that she would have money anyway. I just,
I don't think she has any money at all. But that was surprising because I mean, even I can live better than those apartments in Newport Richie. I mean, come on. So I'm like, what were you doing that you're in like a $1,000 a month apartment in one of the most meth labby cities in Pasco County?
Stacey Dash ain't did nothing in years. Matter of fact, the stuff that she did wasn't like the the most lucrative and money making.
Yeah, nothing. She hasn't done anything, and I don't know.
And then you have to look at the fact that even if she made $600,000-$700,000, by the time she paid her taxes, paid her agent, paid her thing and stuff like that, she probably walked away with a cool, a little bit, maybe a little bit over, maybe a little bit. $200,000, and then
that don't go nowhere if you're paying yourself $50,000 a year. That's what 4 years worth of money.
Yeah, and so you won't be able to
$50,000
live the high life.
nowhere.
She could have had a career. She could have still been hot. You know what I'm saying?
Turned on us.
Well, and she was putting too much. She put too much up her nose.
Even Tuna Strong like that. Even that. She still could have had because it's some conservative black people who still have a career in media on TV and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? She just chose wrong, and she like laid. One thing I give it to her, she laid in it. The bed she made, she laid all the way down in it. But she could have still been at least doing a Tyler
Perry
had a
movie show on BET and stuff. I think she just burned a lot of bridges.
That was a while ago. She had the show with Lisa Ray and all of them. That was pretty
that. Yeah. Where did y'all go? Okay. No, her and Lisa Ray was about to throw them hands on her.
Yeah.
Because she still had the mouth. I'm just saying, it's just, and I remember that show, and it was a good show. It was a good show. The acting was
it was decent.
Average. It was decent. It was decent. It was a good show, but again, behind the scenes, back and forth messed that show up. Because, like I said, she would say some things slick to Lisa Ray, and Lisa Ray would say some things slick to her, and then before you know it, they was getting ready to throw hands.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
they should have let them throw hands so they can keep working. Because sometimes you got to have that. Just throw a couple hands. You know what I'm saying? All right, now let's get back to work.
Yeah, and like I said, she had the look to be able to be further than what she was.
Oh yeah.
She had the look.
The aesthetic back in the 80s and 90s when everybody had to be ambiguous.
Yeah, I had a crush on the back. What did Mo Money and Moving?
Yeah,
Clueless.
And all of them.
Clueless.
Yeah, she did a few movies. That's when she was black. I don't know what happened to her color.
Yeah, Clueless. She definitely from Clueless, she could have parlayed that into other things, particularly the people who were the directors and. Because they had talked about that they loved themselves some Stacey Dash. So I don't know if it was just the party lifestyle and stuff like that. And
her and Christopher Williams, they was coked out.
Okay,
that's who she was talking to, Christopher Williams.
She had a son by him.
I didn't know that.
That oldest one.
Yeah, because he was going with somebody else. Who did he go with? Was it Halle Berry? He went with Halle Berry too, didn't he?
He was with a lot of different people, but I know he has a son with her because I think they were engaged.
Gotcha.
And
I thought she had a mixed son or a mixed child. Also.
Well, the kid looks mixed because he's mixed. His mom's black, his dad's white. He grew up in the projects in the Bronx, where my husband grew up at. And then her mom is Mexican and her dad is black. So I mean, when y'all all mixed up like that, ain't no telling what's gonna come out.
Ain't no telling what's coming.
So the boy. Yeah, the boy, for all intents and purposes, he looks like he has a white dad, but he's like Christopher Williams's complexion. He's just weird looking. I got it from her. Williams' Unsung episode, he talks about their relationship.
I thought she had a child from the ex
from a white guy too, a little girl.
I was just saying she has a little girl. I remember the little girl.
Well, the girl probably grown now because the son is about 30.
All these kids are grown. All these people with these kids, and then you look up, because all of these people that had all these babies back in the 2000s and stuff like that. These kids are 25.
Yeah, Stacey, their son is definitely about 30 something because they're in their mid to late 50s now.
Right, and she had that baby in the 90s, didn't she?
Yeah, so he's probably about 32, 33, the boy, the oldest
Yeah,
one.
because the
And
girl
the
should
girl's
be a
probably in her
teenager.
20s.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Because I was gonna say she might be a teenager. Because last time I saw her, she was just like, oh, you can't see me, but she was just bouncing around and everything like that.
Mhm.
You know, that's the last time I saw her, and
Because
she
I
was
know
kind
she was way younger than his son.
Mm.
Because he was already like 18, 19, I think, when that little girl was born.
Yeah.
Her
Yeah,
name
because
is
I was
Lola.
just gonna say because he was like a teenager, if I can remember correctly. Because all of
Mhm.
those people that I grew up with, you know, they're all grown now and with kids. And then when I think about their kids, it's like, oh, those kids are in their 20s and their 30s now, having
Mhm.
kids and the
Yeah.
grandparents. Because somebody came up here talking about I was a grandparent. I can't remember who that was, and I was like, what you mean you oh, never mind,
Yeah.
Right,
never
because you
mind.
forget how old you are. Because I mean,
Yeah.
technically, I could be somebody's grandparent based on the average grandparent
Right,
age.
right.
Because I mean,
That's
average grandparents, what, about 45, 44,
I
45?
think might be younger than that. I think
Well, in the hood, it's about 37. But
might be younger than that.
because I told you
Because
I had a student, and at the time I was like 41, 42,
Yeah.
told me that his granddad was my age. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, but
I'm
that's what I was
doing
about
the
to say. I
math.
got
I'm
some.
like, so that means your grandfather had your mom when he was like 14? He was like,
Yeah.
yeah. And it was true because my average student, their mom was probably about 14 to 17 years older than them.
You know,
And so they were really young. And that's why they was already ready to fight because they were like 28 with a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
listen, I remember I remember now again. So for those of you all that are watching me, that for my younger audience, that was back in the Stone Ages, the 1900s, as you all call it.
1900.
1900s. Yeah, we were all born
I
in
re-
the 1900s.
but that's old to them, honey, because now they're 25-ish. And oh, what's old to you? Anybody born in the 1900s?
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
Meanwhile, you could be anything from 80 to like 35.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or
Born
30,
in the
really.
19
30, yeah, about 30, yeah, and still have been born in the 1900s.
26, 27,
20,
26,
right,
26,
right. Because we're not
27.
even in 2029 yet. So you could still be in your early 20s and mid 20s
The
and be
first
born in
instance that I had of anybody around my age being pregnant was I was in junior high school. I was in the 7th grade, and a girl that was in the 7th grade had a baby. She had a baby in the 7th grade.
Yep.
She had a baby in the 9th grade, and then she had twins in the 11th grade. And so now this girl is my age. Now you see her now.
You got great
literally,
grandkids.
Exactly. I was just fixing to say
Yeah.
she has great grands now because
and not even
her
6
That is
years
great.
old.
yeah, and I'm just like, and it boggled my mind, and I'm like, yeah, because you were like, and it was like she came to school pregnant, so you got pregnant either when you were 13,
That summer.
yeah, that summer or something like that, because you know she was out like right at the half part of the 7th grade she was out, and then she came back in the 8th grade, and then you know, because she never, now the one thing about her, she never skipped a year or had to be set back or anything, because she always kept up with what she needed to do. And then you got pregnant in the 9th grade.
Well, you got
and
to
then
keep the food benefits and stuff.
you got pregnant in the she was pregnant in the 9th grade, and I
But
remember
the thing
that.
is, you would think that it would have stopped with her because I have had many students like that. And like you, girls I grew up with, you would think that, okay, this happened to me. Let me make sure my daughters and sons don't do the same thing. But
how is that going to happen when that and hear me when I say this, because I, you know, like I said, I have to use these terminologies, but I don't mean anything wrong. How could it when you were traumatized at 13 or 14 when you got pregnant? I don't know how she got pregnant, but the social worker in me is anybody that gets pregnant under 14, there is some essay going on. And that's just, and I've seen it, and I believe
it
it with all my
happened, and then it caused the child to become promiscuous because that
Right.
was a few of the cases I dealt with.
Well, that's
started
part
that
of
way,
that.
and then the girl became promiscuous, sleeping with boys in the school, in the park, and this, that, and the third, and then got pregnant.
Exactly. And so how could she, when the highest before that particular trauma happens, her brain functioning is at a 13-year-old.
Right.
So how is she going to be able to think, oh, well, I don't want my thing, because, and then the people around you, they made it okay for this man to
Okay.
be able,
Yep.
or it made it okay for him, but not okay for you. You're now considered to be a quote unquote adult. So if that mama
Mhm.
is coming to school fighting these kids, she in her head is thinking, oh, well, they're big enough and adult enough that I could fight them. They could fight me too. No,
Yeah, and
that's that crazy mentality.
what I came out of, that mindset.
Yeah.
Yes, because I don't like you, because a lot of younger people will say, y'all, older women won't talk to us. It's not that. It's the fact that there's sometimes you all don't listen, because again, you all have been brought up in a situation where you think you just as grown as I am. As soon as I tried to explain to you the way the world works, and even though the world is never going to be fair, stop asking the world to be fair when it's not going to be fair. I need you to understand what the situation is and figure out how you can matriculate it in the system. And you want to tell me, well, that ain't right, they supposed to. I don't care nothing about what they supposed to do. They're not
Right.
going to do that. These are the things that you need to do to go around that, or to go bust through it, or
Mhm.
do whatever you need to do.
But that's
You're supposed about worried about being fair. And that goes back to Danny, when you were talking about how we don't, as a people, we don't, I'm trying to remember how you said it. We don't think that some people should be in jail when they don't be in jail. We think
Mhm.
that I was in the middle of the conversation. My mother called me about some seafood dressing she wants to make for Thanksgiving, y'all. And on my mind is
I'm coming over
Mom,
there
that
then.
could have been a text.
I'm gonna
What
come
do you
over
mean in
there.
terms of the two things can't be true at the same time?
yeah,
How
that,
some
and
people do need to sit down, I think is what Danny was saying.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
I don't
right.
care what
And
color
a
you
lot
are.
of
You
people
commit a
think,
crime, you need to pay the price for
The
it.
account
and a lot
Tam,
of
you
us
talk about like accountability.
that because a lot of people think that, even though I don't disagree that things should be fair, a lot of us want people to
Give us a pass for everything.
everything. Not, it's almost like you want everything to be fair, and if it's not fair, you don't want to deal with it. We act like we
Mhm.
don't want to deal with the situation. Your cousin Pookie has and his uncle Ray been running around here having sex with the girls in the family since forever.
Mhm.
And because you scared that I don't want Pookie to go to jail. Pookie need to go to jail, because look
Right.
at the stuff that's going on in the family, and then everybody wants to keep secrets, and
Yeah.
don't talk about me like this, because you can't be talking about. Yes, I can. Then you throw in, well, I'm a Christian. So what? You still allowed Ray and Pookie to come to your house when you know you had young
Listen,
girls there.
don't get me
Right.
started on that. But it's funny because we completely off topic, but it kind of goes back to that Rhoda thing, because I was going to say, and I forgot to say it, and you just reminded me, that I think the vitriol that she has toward men probably stems from cultural too, because we all know that a
Right.
lot of those East African cultures are very male centric, but
Mhm.
but in a destructive way, in
Right.
terms of abuse, sexual abuse.
Right.
And
Oh
it might
yeah.
not be considered that there, but here it would be,
Yeah.
marrying and having sex with young girls. And honestly, it was legal here up until it wasn't. So
Mhm.
again, this is not trying to demonize any culture or any, because it happens all over the world, not just Africa, but we're talking about Rhoda here, and she's African. But that goes on everywhere. It still goes on here at those fundamentalists, those over there out in the
Combines
Midwest,
and stuff like that.
those compounds
Yeah.
and
As
all
soon as
that.
a
It
girl,
still happens. And
as soon as a girl reaches
they're
her
these people.
period. Yeah, soon as she gets her menses, then they talking about marrying her
They
off. She's
marry them
woman
off
enough
to
to
those
have.
old men in
Yeah.
the church, and then the sister wives
Yeah.
thing. So it happens here all the time. So don't get it twisted. But
Right.
my point is, circling back to her, I think a lot of the vitriol came from not only her cultural background, but from something that probably happened to her. So it might give some kind of validity to her brain being scrambled like eggs, because you cannot be playing with a full deck and do something like that with conviction and really, truly in your heart of hearts, whether you believe it or not, you're pretty convincing that you believe that you're in the right when you know you're scamming, you lied, you just keep it going. If anything, if I'm gonna do something like that, I'm gonna get the coins and just lay low. I'm not saying nothing else. You're not gonna see me on social media.
She
You're
needed
not
that.
gonna see me up there
Because to me,
antagonizing Daphne.
I don't even think it was about the money with her. It wasn't the money. I think the money was
It
like
was more about
secondary.
the attention.
The attention. It was the
And that
attention.
falls into what Pam is saying, because a lot of girls that get molested and sexually exploited at a young age, it turns into promiscuity. It comes into a lot of it turns into a lot of unhealthy attention seeking. It turns into anger that manifests itself in the form of hating the face of who perpetrated the crime against you, black man.
Extreme manipulation,
lying, because you learned telling the truth didn't help you.
Didn't help, yeah.
You know what I mean? So this is us trying to be objective, but she still deserves a worse sentence.
Oh no, she got to sit down. The one he wasn't the defense attorney, but he was a defensive attorney, and he was saying, that's his first time he saw something about the social media ban, and I'm like, well, punishments is supposed to fit the crime. She she committed a social media crime. That's what she did. So I got to get you off. When you drive, they give you a ticket and say you can't drive no more. They suspend your license.
They'll suspend your license, right?
You did something online. We got to get her off of online. We got to get off of that. So
if you're a crooked contractor and you're doing pools that you never finished, they'll cancel your contracting license.
You can't do
exactly. If you were a doctor and you maim somebody and thing, they'll be talking about taking your license. Yeah,
right. I've seen a lot of people like social. Why would they do that? Social media ban. I'm like, yeah, she committed a crime on social. I know internet is fairly, as far as laws go, the internet is fairly new. And I think it's the reason why she was able to commit that crime is because we don't have a lot of internet crimes or rules over, throughout the internet. But she said she wanted to set a precedent. So she set the precedent. It was at the behest of her going to jail and all of that. But now I think more people are going to start looking at things that's committed online and
somebody else got one though.
She scammed. Just think about it. The whole thing was a scam. The manipulation, the conniving, because you already went out. Now you let me tell it. Like I said, I wasn't there. I don't know everything, but you let me tell it. She wore that. What is it? Pooh Shiesty mask.
The Pooh Shiesty mask, and
because she had already done whatever it was to herself.
Right.
And so she didn't want anybody to see that her face. And so she was cutting up and acting foolish and everything like that. And she was going to try to blame it on the alcohol. And then she was going to say, oh, well, he picked me up and he tried to do things. Good thing. Good looking out for him. And gentlemen, that is a good thing for you to do. Once they start acting crazy, don't take them to a second and third location, because that's going to mess you up.
Yeah.
He didn't take her to so it didn't work out. So she's walking down the street and she sees a group of folks standing around there. So then what does she do? She takes her mask off, puts her camera on, and then starts paving, because you noticed how, I don't know who it was she was supposedly talking to, but you notice how she kept taking her camera and panning it around, and you saw these two little real skinny men back there talking about, we didn't see nothing. We didn't, they were talking. But she was talking to somebody further down in that video, because she was keeping so much mess. And then now that's what we see. That's the information that we have. We see that her side of her face is messed up, but she was making sure that we don't get to see
the full picture,
the full effect about what's going on. We don't get to see that full effect. And then I don't even know, she was in the hospital. I don't know what happened to that, because I remember, now that I'm thinking about it, something about her medical records or something like that. I don't know if she put him out there or somebody put him out there, but her medical records were good, but it was so ambiguous because they never said what was wrong with the side of her face. I remember looking, I was like, this doesn't make any sense to me.
Right.
Because it was like, it was like you got the Kaiser, I guess the name of the hospital was Kaiser, where she went to.
Kaiser Permanente?
Yeah, she went to Kaiser, and then it was like you could see like an intake sheet. She showed an intake sheet, but then when you read it, it never said anything about the diagnosis. It just said that she went to the hospital, and that was supposed to be proof that
Okay, but
something was.
anybody can walk into an urgent care. The thing is, did they do an MRI? Because if you got busted in your dome like that, that should have been an MRI, an X-ray to make sure your eye
Make sure you
socket's
don't have no
not
fractures or
broken.
nothing. Yeah.
Right.
They
Make sure
didn't. They
you ain't
didn't
got a
offer that.
hairline fracture in your skull.
She didn't offer anything. It was just like
Right.
it was just like the intake form to show that yes, she did go to the hospital, and that was supposed to be proof that she had treatment. I said it's not proof because she never showed like the treatment page or anything, the discharge
That and a
page.
lot of that stuff is in my chart now. You can literally download something in my chart and
wasn't
doctor
she
it
also
up.
in med school or something like that? Also, what was she? She was going to school to be what, a lawyer or
It
some
says
medical
she was
something.
a PhD student in that
A
article with
PhD
that.
it's something with it. I think it was
Because
something
I'm
with
like, she could have went
sociology or
to the
something.
school and they had the little beds and all of that stuff for medical students.
Yeah,
and
we
stuff
don't
like
know
that.
where she was, but again, this was all like Blue was saying, it was all the con was played out on social media. We saw we saw you out there where you looked when you were screaming and hollering, foaming at the mouth about what had happened to you with this thing, but we didn't get to see you with your mask on. When you was hooting and hollering and telling the women they got to get out of the section, and you and this guy are tussling, we didn't see none of that. We just see that. We see you sitting in the hospital. We see you because we don't know. Like I said, you just showed the intake form. We don't know if you left without treatment. We don't know what happened. But that's the con played out on social media. So yes, I think it's appropriate that she be banned from social media, and that's enough time for her to be banned to the point that by the time if she does what she's supposed
Obscurity,
to, and
yes.
by the time she comes back, social media will be a totally different beast.
Something new. Yeah.
That's assuming that can even be, because yeah, like I said, there's just way too many ways around it. I think somebody in the comments says she had 2 sons. I don't know. Maybe I misread it. But I'm thinking they probably going to get taken away, assuming that the father is suitable, or given to her actual parents.
But like I said, we don't even know where she comes from, because like I said, I don't know how old she is. But remember I was talking about, some East African traditions mean as soon as your menses starts, you start having babies, get married.
Right.
I don't know if she didn't come from that. I don't know how old her kids, her child,
she's
or her
35.
Kids. Okay.
She real
35
hard
and wilding like that. See, that's something like a
35 these days is like 15.
But again, if she went through what I think she went through, her mindset is still at a 13, 14, 15-year-old.
Oh yeah.
teenager.
Clearly, just the way she behaves, the way she speaks. Again, our favorite term, arrested development.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all this. With her coming over, being whether she's first generation or not, her seeing things like, damn, I hate to
say it like you mean it.
Being my chillmonger bag, but seeing the housewives shows and all that, Love and Hip Hop, what's the baddies? Because that's what she gives off. Let me let me not say the housewives shows. Some of them shows they don't build that extreme, but like the baddies, Love and Hip Hop, where they just fighting for no reason.
Wives,
yeah. You know what I'm saying? They just does she think that is? She believed that that's real. So she was like,
a lot of American women believe that's real.
You know what I'm saying? So she's looking at the Black American culture, the Black American woman as that. And that's why
she didn't. Yeah, I see what you're saying, because she didn't grow up like people who are my age or maybe 10 years younger. We grew up on the Cosby Show, A Different World, and all those different types of shows. And so that's how we see the world about, it's important for you to go get your education, and you can have fun, you can do all of these little crazy, silly things, but you've got responsibilities that you have to do, versus people who are like, 40s going down to now, they're used to reality TV, because when reality TV came out, I think it was what was that show on MTV?
Real World.
Real World.
That was like the late 90s.
Real World.
I think that's
even Real World wasn't like what it is now.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That was my intro, and like I said, when I started like pulling away from television and watching television. See, I wasn't watching reality TV like that. I was still into scripted television.
Right,
So
right.
everybody else behind me was into reality TV. So yes, I could see her watching all this stuff on reality TV, whether it was the Housewives, where it was Snooki and them, whether it was what is it, Love Island, and all this other stuff
All
where
of that
people
stuff,
are
yeah.
are over, because now reality TV is scripted TV, but it's not,
Done in a
because
real setting, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not natural, like the
It's
real
not natural.
world.
They create scenarios to elicit a certain reaction.
Exactly.
And
But
then
the
it
real
turns
world wasn't
into,
like that.
yeah.
Those kids came from places, and they came from different types of,
Right.
you had somebody who came from, like, he was a cowboy, and then you had a girl from the inner city, then you had, I think one was like a, everybody's first introduction to someone who was homosexual. You had all these different, so you brought all these people in this house together, but most of the time, all those people who were in that house, as I remember, they were going to school, or they were going for different types of jobs and stuff like that.
Jobs and gigs and stuff,
yeah, they all had something that they were going to go back to. This was just like they spent 30 days in a house together in the summer, and now we're going to see that whole
It's
thing
a
play out.
social experiment, which
Right.
is, I think that's how you should do reality TV. Let's get people who've never interacted before. This white dude, this gay dude, this black woman, this, what I'm saying, put them in the house together and let them still continue on with their lives. It's just now you got to live with these people in the house.
Right, and we'll give you a couple of team building exercises to do,
stuff like that. Yeah, to me, that's dope.
Right, pay you and go, then you go home.
But the like baddies and all it seemed like they just put them in situations where they just supposed to fight, throw water on each other.
Right. Well, that's because
like,
and I tell you, it's still Tammy from what was it, Basketball Wives. She started that, as far as the
she was
fight
on Real
in the
World.
house.
She was one of the first ones on Real World.
That's what I'm saying. She started that. She was on the Real World. You remember she was saying that the guy had hit her or something, and they went to tussling and stuff like that, and that brought up the ratings. So then the next person who was doing the reality show, that's when it stopped being real. It started to being scripted. The producers are egging stuff on. Stefan said that you was ugly, and right, and they're egging stuff on, and then that's why you see Bad Girls Club and stuff like that, because all they want to do is fight. Then you had the favorite Flavor of Love. You had New York and all them.
Just a mess. All that stuff. I was a young adult when all that stuff came out.
And so I wasn't watching any of that. I was still into scripted television and stuff like that. I think
Flavor Flav wasn't as bad as we, we try to make it, because it was still that.
No, it wasn't bad at all. It just was that one thing with New York when the girl spit on her.
But for the most part, it was not bad. It was
just gross.
Right, but it wasn't like, we finna watch these girls fight, like throw hands and all this. They were getting arguments, but not just like go crazy with
fighting, so. I think, like I said, the only time it turned into a sort of a fight was when that girl spit on New York, and then she yoked her up.
I fought her too, because that's the most disrespectful.
Yeah, that's disgusting. And first of all, she had a right to beat her up, because that's battery when you spit on somebody. So she's lucky she didn't get more than what she got. But
do we have anything else to talk about in regards to Miss Rhoda Osman?
Nope, she deserved what she got. I'm just curious to see if you guys are right, if she's going to violate in the next 6 to 8 months.
I think she's violating. I think she's violating.
She's violating.
And I want to see how this social media ban thing is going to go. So 90 days from today is what? Like February? So let's say by tax time, let's see if she ends up back on.
She violated.
Well, she's been in for about a week.
She's gonna go on TurboTax and then get locked up again.
Yeah, and they may give her time served, because she was in there for a minute, wasn't she? She was in there for a minute before she went to trial.
Yeah.
Oh, so she got to do time in county. Oh man, yeah, she done.
Yeah, so
they're not gonna put you in prison for 90 days. That's a waste.
No, I'm just saying, county is like bad. She's gonna come out a whole new woman. That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm just saying, she's been in for she could get the bait. I think she's been in before she even went to court. She was in there for like 2 or 3 weeks. So if I'm
Oh,
not
when she turned herself
mistaken,
in, did they arrest her when she turned herself in?
They put
I
a
believe
warrant
so.
out for her because she wouldn't turn
Yeah.
herself in.
Oh, I
Yeah, they
didn't know
had a
she was. I
warrant out
thought.
for her. So before she went to trial, I would say that she was in jail for at least 2 to 3
2
or
weeks.
4 weeks or something like that. That's why I was saying she'll probably be out by the end of the
In
month or the
about
first
2
part of
months.
next month.
Yeah.
And then she's got to serve her 10-year probation, and then she's gonna have to finish whatever she needs to finish so that she can make money, because she's not gonna be able to make money to scam unless she's gonna go back to them lower
Yeah,
scams.
that's the thing. What was she doing for
Trying to
real
figure out where
work?
she's
Is
gonna
she
get money to pay
to
them
get
people
all
that
these degrees? What were you doing for
$42,000.
real work, Rhoda? What were you doing
She
for real
probably
work?
wasn't. She probably was living off of student loans
Yeah.
and social media.
And that's going to stop because you can't be a felon, especially in monetary crimes, and get any kind of student loans or financial
Yeah.
aid. So she done.
So I don't know exactly what she's gonna do. All right, people. Blue, you got some last words?
I just go do your time and sit down. That's it. Do your
And
time, sit
shut
down.
up. But we know
And
she's
shut
not going
up.
to shut
Right.
up.
Do your
So
time, sit down. Don't come.
you know what I think might happen though, and I actually do have to go because I got to meet a client in 30 minutes. I do think, because we were talking about baddies, I have a sneaking suspicion she's going to somehow end up on one of those shows.
Mm.
Because you don't need to have
could end up
internet
on there.
access to be a reality star.
Yeah, she could end up doing reality after she get out of jail, but
Because they want that. And I'm sure she's getting her ass beat in that county jail. So
yeah,
she gonna get some street cred from all the fights she gonna have in county. Then they're gonna let her out. And then she gonna get somebody to send an audition tape, because she can't get on thing, but she can use her camera phone. And then or they might just come for her. She looked like Natalie Nunn anyway. She may as well be the new one.
But that might be the wrong thing with her, Danny. If she does that, because those shows are predicated off of online talk.
Yeah.
Well, she can't be online, but she can be on the show.
She can be on. What I'm saying is, once people get to talking about her, whatever she's doing online,
she's gonna violate.
She want to defend herself or say something.
She definitely gonna violate. So she gotta just pay off that debt and then get prepared to go back in. That's all.
Or she's gonna do the other thing. She's gonna see if she can get if she could go back home to Minneapolis, and she's gonna get around her family, and before you know it, she's gonna be the nice Somali Muslim girl that she is and stuff like
there
that,
you
and
go.
going about her
that happens
business.
A lot too.
So
yeah.
All
right,
people.
people.
Put the hat on and take it off.
Pull a Brittany Renner for about 6 weeks and then go back to twerking.
All right, people. We do this every week. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this video if you care. Y'all think Danny, y'all think Blue. Make sure you follow their YouTube pages. They put it out in the chat. All right, y'all. Please tell a friend, tell a kin, tell a coworker, tell that heifer that you can't stand not to do any more social media scamming and putting up GoFundMe's.
Because we're going to snitch.
And as always, people, bye-bye.